The Orleans Firebirds have traveled less than 10 miles south down Route 28 to take on the rivals in the East Division, the Chatham Anglers, here at Veterans Field. We welcome you here to Chatham, Massachusetts, alongside Thomas Inzarella. I'm Josh White. And Thomas, it's about as good as it gets. It's not the 4th of July just yet. It feels like it, though, with the Firebirds and the Anglers squaring off for the first time in 2019.
Yeah, the Anglers and the Firebirds, it's always a home-and-home series right around 4th of July. Obviously, a lot of traffic, a lot of hustle and bustle on Cape Cod, going down Route 6. So they try to keep it nice and close, helps us out, helps the players out. And, of course, the fans get to watch some great baseball here between the Firebirds and the Anglers. This is somewhat of a little bit of a rivalry. Obviously, the disparity between the teams being so close to each other. Orleans and Chatham, as you mentioned, only about 10 miles apart. As Orleans and Chatham, and throughout the years, have really met in the playoffs in the early 2000s. Seems like Orleans and Chatham are really the top two teams in the East and the teams to beat on the Cape. And so far, that's been the case so far this season.
They are the best two teams, like you mentioned, in the East Division right now. The Orleans Firebirds 11-4-2. The Chatham Anglers 10-6-1. Here's how the Orleans Firebirds lineup looks tonight, presented by Kelly Nicholson. A lot of Zachs at the top of the lineup because Zach Kokoska and Zach Britton both in there. Matt Goodhart in the cleanup spot as well, as Kelly Nicholson shores up his defensive alignment at the bottom half with David Amedia behind the dish. So the right-hander set to transfer to Oklahoma, Dane Acker will get the ball today for the Chatham A's. And Acker set to make his 4th appearance, 2nd start of the summer. About set to face Zach Kokoska. Righty on lefty matchup to get us rolling tonight at Veterans Field. The first pitch, fastball misses up and away for ball 1 at 7 o'clock, and we are underway.
Well, yes, so we started early, a couple minutes, 3-4 minutes early. Today we're spot on.
We are right on time here at Veterans Field. 1-0 from Acker. Fastball up in the zone that Kokoska fans through, and it's 1-1. Zach has been all over the outfield so far for the Firebirds. Came in as a defensive replacement last night in left, but batting .239 across his first 13 games. Acker out of the winds-up. Here's the 1-1. Fastball fouled back to the screen, and it's 1-2. The new bleachers here at Veterans Field already starting to be filled in just a little after first pitch. As this is as pure as it gets here on Cape Cod between the Firebirds and the Anglers right around 4th of July. They'll be back at it again tomorrow night at Eldridge Park. 1-2 the count to the Birds' leadoff man, Zach Kokoska out of Kansas State. Acker shakes off the side. Now puts the 10 glove in front of the face. Rocks and fires the 1-2. Fastball lifted out of play by Kokoska, and we'll do it again.
Some people still filing in, making their way from dinner after going to the beach today. Spectacular weather here on Cape Cod today. A little humid, but if you're down near the water, you loved it.
There were some sharks off of Nauset Beach that really went nationally the last couple days. 1-2. Fastball hit hard to the right side into the outfield for a base hit. Zach Kokoska a leadoff base knock, and the Birds have the offense early as Kokoska picks up his first base knock of the evening.
Well, the Firebirds having a base runner on to start off the game. There's not many times we can say that very often, as the Firebirds usually a team that over this 5-game winning streak that has usually kind of struck in the middle to the later part of the game and trying to strike early here in the first.
Orleans had 7 runs across the first 4 innings last night against Tyannis, but then the Orleans offense fell asleep at the wheel. So Acker out of the stretch. Zach Britton steps in. The first pitch. Fastball misses up and away for ball 1. No score between Chatham and Orleans. First of 6 meetings between these two East Division foes. Britton out of the University of Louisville, 2 for 5 last night with an RBI. Patrolling right field once again for Kelly Nicholson's squad. 1-0. Fastball taken on the outside corner, and it's 1-1. Let's give you Chatham's defensive alignment. Tom Holliday's squad going left to right in the outfield. Cooper Swanson, Caden Polkovich, and Jamal O'Gwin. The infield, Jorge Arenas at third, Huey Morrow at short, Tyler Dones at second, Paxton Wallace, the first baseman, and Brady Smith, the battery mate to Dane Acker. Acker set from the first base side of the rubber. Checks on Kokoska, the 1-1 home. Breaking ball blocked down by Smith into the left-handed batter's box. Checked out the right, and it's 2-1.
I did a little research quickly, and the Firebirds have only scored once in one game this year in the first inning. It was all the way back on June 14th in Wareham.
It's been quite some time since the Firebirds have scored in the first. It's been quite some time since the Firebirds have lost. 2-1 pitch. Fastball skied back out of play, and it's 2-2. Orleans winners of 5 straight coming into the night. Again, they're 11-4-2 atop the Cape League. Won 5 in a row, including at least 1 point in the last 8 games. Haven't lost since playing Yarmouth Dennis back on June 20th. That game, obviously, a lot of controversy with the fog, but the Red Sox came out on top 9-5 at Aldridge Park. Righty on lefty matchup, 2-2. Fastball on the outside corner, ring him up, strike 3. Kokoska takes the heater on the outside edge, and Acker his first K of the night.
We mentioned the fog game. Well, Chatham infamous for their fog here. Hopefully not a 5th inning fog out. They've been fogged out at least once this year against YD.
Does not look like there's going to be fog in the forecast later tonight at Veterans Field. Max Troiani now the batter for the Orleans Firebirds. Acker's first offering, runner gong, fastball taken on the inside corner, throw down from Smith, not in time. So Zach Kokoska off and running after the leadoff single, swipes his second bag of the summer, and the Birds a runner in scoring position with 1 away.
We've seen it now over this 5-game winning streak that the Firebirds have really taken a couple more chances, a few extra chances on the base paths. Again, this is a team that is near the bottom tier in stolen bases. Actually, the second fewest stolen bases this season. Chatham right in front of them, the 3rd fewest.
So a 0-1 count to one of the best hitters in the Cape League so far, Max Troiani, with the Firebirds and the Anglers scoreless. Troiani batting .362, 3rd best average on the Cape so far. Kokoska aboard at second with 1 away here in the top of the 1st. Ackers 0-1. Fastball cut on and missed, and it's 0-2. Troiani out of Bentley in Division II school. It's been quite a surprise to many to see the success for Troiani against some of the best pitching in the country. What a lot of people don't know, Northeast 10 Conference uses wood bats year-round, has not been an adjustment at all for Troiani. Righty on righty matchup, the 0-2. Fastball off the plate, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. First team all-conference selection this past season at Bentley. There was a lot of power for Troiani this past season. During the spring, hit 9 homers and had a slugging percentage of .566, but here on the Cape, 20 of his first 21 hits, singles. Acker steps off the rubber, just looks back Kokoska to second base. Orleans and Chatham, 0 apiece here with 1 away in the top of the 1st, and the first of 6 meetings between these 2 East Division foes. Firebirds wearing their road red uniforms, white lettering across the chest. White caps, red brims. Ackers 1-2. Breaking ball fought off by Troiani back to the screen, and we'll do it again. The Anglers in their home white uniforms, pinstripes running up and down. Blue lettering. White caps with the A's emblem on the cap with a red brim.
Chatham A's probably being the most recognizable brand on Cape Cod.
Acker extends the arms. Now he's set at the chest. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball Troiani lays off of. Smith knocks it down with the chest, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. And you mentioned it, probably when you think about the Chatham Anglers, they're the most recognizable team on the Cape. There's for good reasons. Chatham, big-time vacation spot here on Cape Cod. Obviously, the movie and book Summer Catch coming out a little more than 15 years ago now, it feels like.
The Last Best League as well, another good book.
Kokoska extends his lead at second base, held on by Dones. Acker set the 2-2. Breaking ball, Troiani lifts into left field. Swanson ranging back. He's got this one lined up, makes the grab, and there's 2 away.
Talk about the dimensions of Veterans Field. 314 down the right field line. About the same over on the left field corner. Of course, where that ball was hit, if it was hit a little further, going out towards a new scoreboard out in left field. Chatham also adding in a new scoreboard just like Orleans did this past offseason.
It was off the end of the bat from Troiani and found the glove of Swanson. First pitch to Matt Goodhart, the DH from Arkansas. Fastball just misses low off the dish for ball one. Firebirds and Anglers, nothing apiece. And with 2 away in the top of the first inning, Zach Kokoska, after a leadoff single, swipes second. That's where he stands right now. Goodhart 4 for his first 13, playing in his 5th game as an Orleans Firebird. 1-0. Fastball misses up and away. It's 2 balls and no strikes.
We talk about some of these Firebirds hitters getting ahead in the count. Goodhart here in a fastball count, especially the runner in scoring position with 2 outs.
Goodhart got the night off last night after an 0 for 3 evening at Falmouth a couple nights ago. Kokoska being held on. Here's the 2-0. Fastball nips the outside corner. Good frame job by Brady Smith, the catcher from Florida. And it's 2-1. Goodhart did it all for the Arkansas Razorbacks, helped them reach the College World Series. Led the Razorbacks with a .345 batting average and a .444 on-base percentage. A junior college transfer from San Jacinto. 2-1. Fastball corked out to shallow left field. Third baseman Arenas charging out. Swanson charging in. This loops down for a base hit. Kokoska charging around third. He'll score without a throw. And on first base with an RBI single is Matt Goodhart, and the Birds are on the board. It's 1-0 here at Veterans Field.
Well, Jess nubbly one down the third base side, and all the singles go down the same in the scorebook. And Goodhart able to deliver with 2 outs here in the first inning, and the Firebirds take an early lead, which again, the Firebirds not really in early offense team in the first inning or so. It's usually towards the latter part of the lineup so far this year have done damage, and then the top of the order comes around, and then that's when the Firebirds are hot.
Matt Troop said the Birds pitching staff would feel comfortable with 3 runs, let alone 7 like last night. First pitch to Raymond Gill is off the plate for ball 1. Gill, the first baseman out of the University of Miami, has reached base in 9 consecutive ball games, batting .256 to start his Orleans career. Goodhart's on at first with 2 outs here in the top of the first. Righty on righty matchup. Here's the 1-0. Fastball runs low and outside. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Gill 0 for 3 an evening ago at Eldridge Park, but did bring home a run after drawing a pair of walks as part of that 3-run 4th inning for the Firebirds. Worked a bases-loaded free pass. 2-0 the count to the Birds' 5-hole hitter. An accurate check on the runner at first base, and Goodhart's back in. So 2-0 the count to Gill. The pitch, fastball chopped to the left side, right at the shortstop. Huey Morrill charges in, goes the short way to second base, and the side is retired. But not before the Orleans Firebirds get on the scoreboard. Orleans scores 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and they leave 1 runner left on base. We'll head to the home half of the first here at Veterans Field. It's 1-0 in favor of Orleans. And let's check in with our sideline reporter, Alec Hendon.
Thank you, Josh. Well, Scotty is still on the mend tonight. I am admirably filling in as a sideline reporter. I think I'm doing my best, but no one can really top Scotty Gaines, gentlemen. Here are a few keys to the game between this rivalry matchup. We both know how much this means to both cities, Chatham and Orleans. Only 10 miles separate Veterans Field and Orleans and Eldridge Park. And one hitter to watch out today for Chatham is Jamal O'Gwyn. The right fielder from USC is tremendous. He is second in the Cape League in home runs, and he is leading the Cape League in RBIs. If Adam Seminaris and the Firebirds are to have success tonight and pick up their 6th consecutive victory, they're going to need to keep O'Gwyn quiet at the plate. Back to you, boys.
You heard it there from Alec Hendon. And Alec, you're doing more than a fine job. Scotty, very tough to replace. We hope he's starting to feel a little better. Back in the cottage in Orleans, we've taken the trip a little less than 10 miles south here to Chatham, and the Firebirds have a 1-0 lead over the Chatham Anglers, and they send their ace to the mound tonight here at Veterans Field, Adam Seminaris. Thomas.
Yeah, Adam Seminaris now making his 4th start on Cape Cod. You know, it started opening night against the Bourne Braves at home, and he's been spectacular on Cape Cod so far. Last start back on June 26 in Cotuit. That game ended in a tie as he went 5 strong innings, 4 hits, 1 run, 1 earned, 3 punch-outs. Again, he's a guy that won't rack out the strikeouts really either, just 7 and 13 and 2/3, but he's only allowed 1 run in those 13 and 2/3. He's a pound the zone guy. Again, not going to overpower with his stuff. Fastball only touching up at 88, 89, 90 miles an hour. 91 probably at best, but he's going to attack you early and often. If he can get that fastball going early, he can mix in the off-speed stuff, and it'll be challenging for a lineup to get through against Seminaris, as really nobody has this year on the Cape.
He has been fantastic so far for the Orleans Firebirds. Just 1 earned run allowed through his first 13-plus innings. But he'll go against a Chatham Anglers squad that features 8 right-handers and 1 switch hitter tonight. Tom Holliday playing the platoon game at Veterans Field this evening. So Seminaris, the southpaw out of Long Beach State, towing the rubber. The shortstop Huey Morrill steps in from the right side. Here's the first pitch. Fastball popped into shallow right field. The right fielder Britton retreating to his left. He battles the sun, makes the grab. 1 pitch and 1 away.
Now batting for Chatham, the second baseman from West Virginia.
Morrow swinging at the first pitch, and that's what Katuitt did as well in that last start. They try to get early in the count. Don't let Seminaris settle in, and I think that's probably the biggest key for the Anglers, because once he starts dealing, he's very efficient as well. Keeps that pitch count low. Mentioned pound the zone. A guy that can throw 65 pitches, and at least 45 will be strikes, 50.
Now Tyler Dones, the batter. First pitch, fastball right down the chute. 0-1. So 2 pitches, 2 strikes. And Dones out of West Virginia, hitting .276 to start his summer. Playing in his 14th game for Tom Holliday's club. Here's the 0-1. Fastball runs off the dish, and it's 1-1. Firebirds a 1-0 lead over the Anglers here with 1 away in the home half of the first. Dones got the night off last night. Once played against the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox on July 1st. 1-1. Fastball fouled back off the mask of Avidia, and it's 1-2. Dones 2 for 2 with a run scored a couple nights ago against YD. All Big 12 honorable mention this past season at West Virginia. Seminaris a deep breath. Wheels and deals, the 1-2 pitch. Fastball sawed off by Dones down the right side, and we'll do it again.
Of course, his teammate back at West Virginia, not only Brandon White, but former Firebird, but Alec Manoa, who pitched here on Chatham last year, was fantastic and was fun to watch this year in Morgantown.
A first-round pick by the Toronto Blue Jays after a stellar tenure with the Chatham Anglers. 1-2 once again. Fastball flared into right field. Britton on the run to his left, running near the line, makes the grab just in front of the warning track, and there's 2 away.
Yeah, Britton gets some early work out there at right field. Back-to-back balls hit to him. But again, Seminaris getting ahead of the count with 1-2. And it's tough. You have to get ahead against Seminaris, but the way he pounds the zone, you're going to have to swing the first pitch or pray he's going to throw a couple balls to you.
So now Jamal O'Gwyn, the right fielder from USC, digs in from the right side. And the first time this summer, we see a shift from the Orleans Firebirds. First pitch, breaking ball misses low for ball 1. 3 infielders on the left side. Raymond Gill, the lone man on the right, playing well off the line, expecting Gwynn to pull. The 1-0 from Seminaris. Fastball fought off, back out of play, and it's 1-1. We know Kelly Nicholson has been getting a scouting report every ball game from our good friend Sam Martika.
Yeah, Sam, if you're listening.
And now they're using the spray charts to their benefit. 1-1 from Seminaris. Fastball once again fought off by O'Gwyn out of play, and it's 1-2. Firebirds 1, Anglers 0 with 2 away in the bottom of the first. O'Gwyn has reached base in 6 straight ball games, bumping that average up to 291. Seminaris rocks and fires the 1-2. Fastball hit into center field. Over the head of the second baseman, Soretti drops down for a base hit. Jamal O'Gwyn aboard for the 7th straight ball game.
Well, he didn't put it through the shift on the right side, but it's a line drive right back up the middle where there is no Firebirds. Feel they're able in reach to get that one. The Anglers have some life here in the first.
So now Paxton Wallace, the first baseman from Wichita State, digs in from the right side. Adam Seminaris working out of the stretch for the first time this evening. Seminaris set at the belt. Here's the first pitch. Breaking ball chopped back to the mound. Seminaris a hop. He'll trot over to first. Underhand flip to Gill. And the side is retired. So Adam Seminaris filling up the zone in the early part of the ball game. Works around a 2-out single from Jamal O'Gwyn as the Anglers score no runs on one hit, no errors, and one runner left on base. Well, to the top of the second at Veterans Field. 1-0 Firebirds lead. You listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Welcome back to Veterans Field. The Orleans Firebirds lead the Chatham Anglers 1-0. After the Firebirds able to capitalize on a bloop single by Matt Goodhart in the first. The switch hitting second baseman from North Carolina, Danny Soretti, will dig in from the left side, set to face Dane Acker, right-hander from Oklahoma. Acker out of the windup. First pitch to Danny Soretti. Fastball nips the outside corner for strike one. Third baseman Jorge Arenas was in on the grass, but now drops back even with the bat. Soretti manning second base tonight for Kelly Nicholson's club. Here's the 0-1. Fastball fought off, rolling near the Orleans on deck circle, and it's 0-2. Soretti.
So I'd say Soretti swinging much hotter bat at the plate for the Firebirds. 2 hits in yesterday's win.
He has that average up to 278 across his first 7 games as a Firebird. Grabs some dirt in the left-handed batter's box with the left hand. Here's the 0-2 from Acker. Fastball lined down the left side now to play. And we'll do it again. Soretti, an ACC all-freshman team selection. Hit .299 this past season for the Tar Heels. And you bet I asked him, did that annoy you at all? Hitting .299 and not .300 is one of the first things he admitted to me. He said, yes. I looked at the box score right after our last game in the NCAA tournament. 0-2. Breaking ball waved out and missed, strike 3. Smith let it go through the wickets. He'll throw it down to first base to complete the strikeout. It's a second K of the night for Dane Acker, and there's one down in the second.
Well, Soretti fouled off that tough pitch before, but Acker went right at Soretti. And again, it's tough here in the Cape if you're down on the count 0-2.
First pitch strikes, the name of the game here in the Cape Cod Baseball League. Shea Whitcomb, the shortstop from UC San Diego, steps in from the right side. Acker leans forward, rocks and fires the first pitch. Fastball right down the chute at the belt of Whitcomb for strike one. Orleans a 1-0 lead over Chatham with one away in the top of the second. Whitcomb on base for 6 consecutive games now. He's batting .222, but he's starting to turn things around. 1 for 3 an evening ago with an RBI double. 0-1. Fastball fouled off the mask of Smith, and it's quickly 0-2. Whitcomb called the best Division II player in the country by Kelly Nicholson a few nights ago, and he's starting to show it. Not only defensively, but offensively as well.
Yeah, you can see it every time he steps in the cage during BP. Gets better and better.
Here's the 0-2. Fastball up and away, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Whitcomb playing shortstop tonight for the Firebirds. We've seen him at third. We've seen him in the DH spot as well. Has driven in 6 runs in his first 9 ball games. Slightly open stance on the right side. Extends the tan bat right at Ecker. And the right-handers 1-2. Curveball drops in, just misses low and in. And it's 2-2. Sharp curve from Ecker right there, but the home plate umpire, Rick Emerson, thought it missed low and inside.
Like a Tom Carey-esque strike zone from yesterday. Chad Gaspin wasn't happy at it, the manager for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks.
Here's the 2-2. Fastball skied to deep left field. Swanson ranging back to his left. He's at the warning track, converging with the center fielder Polkovich, who makes the catch just at the fence for a loud out number 2.
I heard some gasp there from the second from the crowd here in Chatham. They thought had a chance to get out. We did as well, but right at the last second, it looked like we don't know who's going to get it. All of a sudden, the center fielder Polkovich comes in and just snags it at the warning track. But wrong part of the ballpark there. 357 out there in left center. A little more towards the scoreboard, towards the left field corner. That would have been gone.
And that was not hit hard either off the end of the bat from Shea Whitcomb, but shows his strength. First pitch to Avidia. Fastball over the heart of the plate for strike 1. 2 outs here in the top of the second with the Firebirds leading the Anglers 1-0. Righty on righty matchup, the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball that catches the outside corner, and it's quickly 0-2. An 83-mile-an-hour curve from Ecker. Called a strike by Rick Emerson. Avidia just 3 for his first 27, but has shown the defense, and every single Firebird has raved about it. The 0-2. Curveball lofted into left field. O'Gwynn charging in. Now to his left, makes the grab, and the side is retired. A 1-2-3 inning for Dane Ecker keeps the Orleans Firebirds off the board. After an inning and a half, it's Orleans 1, Chatham 0. You're listening to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network.
Now 2-1 pitch, hit up the middle towards shortstop McCabe. Glove flip on to second. Soretti tries to turn over to first. It's in time. And for McCabe came back against Katuitt as the 1-2 pitch goes right to the back screen. And coming in to score from third is Soretti. 0-1 to Emery. Turns on one, flares one down the left field line. It gets past the outstretched glove of Olsen, the third baseman. As Whitcomb holding up at third for a second, he'll come in to score standing up. Firebirds lead 1-0 pitch in on the hands, broken bat towards the third baseman. Olsen fields it, throws on the run over towards first. Throw is wide, it pulls the first baseman Carlson off the line, and Daniels comes in to score.
Bases loaded. Here's the 2-0. Fastball chopped to the left side, broken bat. Shortstop on the run, throw to first base, not in time. An infield single for Max Troiani. He brings home Rob Emery. Britton at third, the 0-2. Curveball high, chopper back in front of the mound. Albanese charges in, no play at home. The throw to first, not in time. Another infield single for the Orleans Firebirds. Plates another run. And Lohman a deep breath, 2-2. Breaking ball waved out and missed, strike 3.
Also the third baseman from the left side reaches for one, sends one high in the air towards center field. Lala on his horseback there, ranges back and makes the catch. Like a good neighbor, Jordan Lala is there. A 1-2 from Skata. Hits one on Weekly on the left side of the infield. Third baseman Whitcomb fields it, throw across the diamond just in time as the Firebirds able to close out here at Eldridge Park, making now 5 in a row.
Orleans a 1-0 lead over Chatham as we head to the home half of the second at Veterans Field. Caden Polkovich, the center fielder, will lead things off for the Anglers against Adam Seminaris. Seminaris a strong first inning, 4 first pitch strikes, worked around a 2-out single from Jamal O'Gwynn. Polkovich, the lone man from the right side tonight for the Anglers, the switch hitter from Oklahoma State. First pitch from Seminaris. Fastball hit back up the middle, past Seminaris' glove, into center field for a base hit. So Polkovich wastes no time. He chops one into center, and the Anglers will lead off base runner to start the second.
Well, I mentioned Seminaris back in that first inning. Only threw 11 pitches as well, and we'll see that a lot tonight from him. Got a guy, I mentioned, like a broken record now. He pounds the zone.
So now Brady Smith, the catcher from Florida, will step in from the right side. Seminaris working out of the stretch for the second time tonight. Southpaw set at the belt. Here's the first pitch. Fastball over the heart of the plate for strike 1. Smith hitting a hot .348 across his first 10 games. He's reached in the last 9 of them. Did not reach his first appearance on the Cape. Has been on base, including a walk last night at Harwich. Polkovich aboard at first with nobody down. And Seminaris a check over, and Polkovich steps back in, leading with the right foot. Orleans a 1-0 lead over Chatham here in the bottom of the second at Veterans Field. Now, the funny story with Brady Smith goes to the University of Florida, but grew up a fan of their rival as a die-hard Florida State Seminoles fan. 0-1 the count, and Seminaris another check on first base. But Polkovich steps back in. But it doesn't just end there, Thomas.
Oh,
he looks identical. And when I mean looks identical, a spot-on replica of Matt Damon. And this was not something that I put together, I promise. This is a legitimate thing. The 0-1. Breaking ball misses upstairs, and it's 1-1. This went viral during the 2018 Super Regionals. Between Auburn and Florida, ESPN ran a graphic that showed Matt Damon and Brady Smith side by side.
So if you're walking down Main Street in Chatham, you think you see Matt Damon, it's Brady Smith. Unless it is Matt Damon.
1-1. Breaker misses off the plate, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. And it's not just the look-alike things that has Brady Smith in the Cape Cod baseball league. A talented baseball player in his own right. 135th overall in his class by perfect game coming out of high school. 2-1 the count, the pitch. Fastball up in the zone, cut through by Smith, and it's 2-2. Smith played with the Catuit Cavaliers last summer in the CCBL. Hit .333 across 23 games, but in round 2, comes to the Chatham Anglers in the East Division. Runner on first with nobody out here in the last of the second, with the Firebirds leading the Anglers 1-0. Seminaris is 2-2. Fastball rocketed to third base side. Backhanded by Murray. Throw into second. Turned by Soretti. In time. A 5-4-3 double play, and Tanner Murray once again flashes the leather. A twin killing for the Firebirds, and there's 2 down.
And we've seen Murray make plays just like that routinely. I mean, it's effortless for him. Backhand, in the hole, if he's playing shortstop, or up the middle if he's playing short. He really is able to patrol his ground wherever he's playing, shortstop, third, or if he ever plays second. He's always there.
So now that will bring up Jorge Arenas, the third baseman from Stetson. Seminaris out of the windup. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses low and in, just above the shoot tops of Arenas for ball 1. Arenas batting .310 in his second go-around with the Chatham Anglers. Played with the A's last summer here on the Cape. The 1-0 from Seminaris. Fastball chopped back off the glove of Seminaris, down to his chest, third base side. Bare hands won't even make a throw. So an infield single for Jorge Arenas. It's the Anglers' third hit here in the second.
Yeah, Seminaris was diving out for the ball and just tripped or slipped or whatever on the mound. And it hit off his glove, so it would not advance really any further. It pushed towards the third base bag. And Arenas is in safely with an infield single.
So Charlie Welch, the DH, will dig in for the first time tonight. Clearwater, Florida native, transferring to St. John's River State. Played 2 seasons at Pepperdine and now going to St. John's River State. Lefty on righty matchup, first pitch. Fastball runs low and outside for ball 1. Welch originally committed to South Carolina coming out of high school, but a late thing going on in the spring of his senior year. Coach got fired, decommitted, had to find a new school. 1-0 fastball, loopy swing. Waved out and missed, and it's 1-1. Firebirds an early 1-0 lead over the Anglers with a runner on first and 2 down in the bottom of the second inning. Welch has struggled to start his summer. 2 for his first 26, but picked up an RBI single an evening ago. 1-1. Fastball waved out and missed, and it's 1-2.
And yet he mentioned transferring now from Pepperdine. He's found his way to Cape Cod. And we always say it out a couple times a year. Now everything's full circle.
So Seminaris 1 strike away from getting out of the second inning. 1-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Fastball hit back up the middle. Second baseman Soretti shifting towards the second base bag. He'll throw the ball to first. Picked out of the dirt by Gill. And the side is retired. So a couple of hits for the Chatham Anglers in the inning, but nothing to show for as Chatham scores no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and they leave 1 runner left on base. After 2, it's the Firebirds 1 and the Anglers nothing. Let's check in with our sideline reporter, Alec Hendon.
Yeah, guys, it's a beautiful July evening here in Chatham, and I can't think of a better place to go get a burger than the Knack in Orleans. We've gone plenty of times. I know in our short month here, Josh and I, we bond over our love for the avocado burger. Lots of great American food options, as well as the local Cape Cod essentials with fried fish and various other things. So come on out and check out the Knack off Route 6, not far from Eldridge Park, and a proud sponsor of the Orleans Firebirds. Back to you, Josh and Thomas.
Thank you, Alec, and that is absolutely right. I can't recommend enough how good the avocado burger is, and I'm not talking the single, and that's good too, but the double avocado burger at the Knack, it's the way to go.
I haven't had the avocado burger. I've had a cheeseburger.
You can't go wrong with anything there. Who are we kidding? But
that's the
preference.
too, yeah.
That's the preference.
Lobster roll, clam strip roll. I mean, a fish sandwich. I mean, I think that's the steal right there. I mean, really any seafood on Cape Cod. I mean, you're living large. Of course, right down over here next to Veterans Field is Chatham Fish and Chips.
University of California, Davis, number 41, Tanner Murray.
So we'll head to the top of the 3rd at Veterans Field with the Firebirds leading the Anglers 1-0. Tanner Murray, the 3rd baseman from UC Davis, will lead off the inning. Set to face Dane Acker, who has retired the last 4 Orleans Firebirds. Acker rubbing the ball in his right hand, now puts the glove back on the left. Right-hander from Oklahoma set to toe the rubber. Acker gets the sign, takes a deep breath, wheels and deals. The first pitch to Murray. Fastball lined over the head of the second baseman, Domes into right field for a base hit. So Tanner Murray aboard for the first time tonight, and it's the Firebirds' 3rd hit of the evening.
Well, even though the second baseman, Dones, did not catch that ball, he got up. That's all I can say. He's got ups. Flashing the vertical there for some of the scouts. Just a hair over his mitt.
So that will flip it to the top of this Orleans lineup with Zach Kokoska, who has scored the lone run of this ball game. Righty on lefty matchup. The pitch. Kokoska showing bunt and flares it back for strike 1. Kokoska a leadoff single a couple innings ago. Stole second and came right to score on the bloop shot by Matt Goodhart. Kokoska manning center field tonight for Kelly Nicholson's squad. Starting to raise that average closer to the 250 mark. All Big 12 honorable mention this past season for the Wildcats. The 0-1. Kokoska takes a fastball on the inside corner, and it's 0-2. Orleans a 1-0 lead over Chatham in the top of the 3rd. Firebirds have scored 1 run on 3 hits. No errors and 1 runner left on base. The Anglers, no runs on 3 hits. No errors and 2 runners left on. No balls and 2 strikes. The pitch. Fastball skied back by Kokoska over our heads and out of play, just near the concession stand here at Veterans Field. The retail shop.
The retail shop, yeah. It's actually funny. So there's a house over here. We can't really see it from the third base side, but they have Adirondack chairs on the back side of their garage or the house, and they can literally just sit out there and watch a Chatham Anglers game.
So the count's still 0-2 in what might be the most Americana-feeling ballpark in the country. Adirondack chairs, plenty of beach chairs out on the hill beyond the center field fence. No balls, 2 strikes, the pitch. Fastball right down the chute, missed low below the knees, and it's 1-2.
Really nothing more American. You got the Anglers, base of their colors red, white, and blue. They're donning their July 4th caps as well.
Wonder if they'll wear them tomorrow on the road as well. Acker a check on the runner at first base, and Murray dives headlong in. Tanner Murray a threat to run, 2 for 2 in stolen base attempts this summer. Swiped 12 this past season at UC Davis. 1-2 the count to Zach Kokoska, the leadoff man for the Orleans Firebirds. Acker kicks 1-2, fastball up in the zone, waved at a miss. Murray running, throw down to second. Not in time. So a late call, and they're going to say Tanner Murray was safe, and the shortstop Huey Morrow having conversation with the umpire, and here comes Tom Holliday.
Well, the throw definitely beat him down to second base, but somehow able to acrobatically avoid the tag. He slid towards the back end, kind of maneuvered his hand away around maybe. Looked like he was body surfing around the Atlantic Ocean.
You want my honest opinion? I think that's a throw him out, strike him out, or strike him out, throw him out double play. But that's to my naked eye from about 100 feet away.
Again, this is where we need the instant replay. We got to go to Hyannis or something.
We got to go to Hyannis, maybe back to Scotty Gage in Orleans tonight.
It might have an extra camera angle.
So Tom Holliday comes up empty as Zach Kokoska goes down swinging. Tanner Murray swipes his third stolen bag of the summer. And the Firebirds, for the second consecutive inning, have a runner in scoring position with only one out. So now Zach Britton, the right fielder from Louisville, checks in for the left side. Acker extends the arms. Now he's set at the chest. First pitch. Fastball misses off the plate for ball one. Britton struck out looking his first time up. Took a heater on the outside part of the dish for strike three. 2 for 5 with an RBI an evening ago against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Acker's 1-0. Fastball lifted down the left side. Swanson throws his hands up. He doesn't see where this baseball is. It drops in fair territory. Murray digging around from second. He'll score without a throw, and cruising into second base with an RBI double is Zach Britton. And the Firebirds take a 2-0 lead after Swanson lost the ball in the sun.
Yeah, the sun setting beyond the trees in the left field, and maybe losing the lights as well. And it's a flare down the left field line. Probably should have been, obviously would have been caught, but Swans, the left fielder, just lost the ball up there off the edge of the barrel.
When the birds are hot, things tend to go right. The Firebirds winners of 5 straight, getting some help from the Chatham Anglers not being able to track down what should be a routine fly ball. Righty on righty matchup. First pitch to Troiani. Fastball down low for ball one.
And now it allows a guy in Max Troiani, who's just been flat out raking this season, third in the Cape League in average.
So Troiani, who's been on a tear, 0 for 1 tonight. The 1-0. Breaking ball misses low and outside. Smith blocks it down. Britton breaking for third. He's in without a throw. What a great read off the breaking ball by Zach Britton. Saw Smith block it down, but bolted to second and hit the dirt. And the Firebirds are runner 90 feet away.
Yeah, those are the type of reads that can make the difference in a game. Seeing the ball in the dirt, taking an extra base, especially third base as well.
And that was a good block from Brady Smith as well. Just a better read from Zach Britton. And now the infield comes in for the Anglers. 2-0. Fastball misses low. It's 3 balls and no strikes. And now at this point, if you're Dane Acker, you got to wonder just mentally how you battle back. Things have not gone your way in this inning.
No, for sure. You know, going off of the double down the left field line, ball lost in the lights, and then a good block by the catcher Smith. But he'll take another extra base.
So the 3-0 to Troiani. A fastball outside ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk to Troiani, and the Birds runners on the corners with only 1 away in the third.
Goes back to Tanner Murray stealing second base. If that was a strike him out, throw him out, as you thought it was, that's 2 outs in the inning then.
And a chance for Orleans to capitalize once again. Brady Smith, the catcher from Florida, will emerge with first and third signs. But the Firebirds leading the Anglers 2-0, threatening for more. Troiani's aboard at first, Britton 90 feet away. And Matt Goodhart, who has an RBI single, digs in to the left side. First pitch. Fastball caught on and missed for strike 1.
It's funny, yesterday in Troiani's postgame, he loved talking about how he can pick other Firebirds hitters' brains about hitting, and Matt Goodhart, the man behind him in the order, was one of those guys.
So Goodhart trying to show Troiani the way, the 0-1. Fastball skied into shallow right center field. Doan's the second baseman, got a late read. He's going out. Right fielder O'Gwyn coming in. He makes the catch. Throw goes into home. Both runners will stay put as Dane Acker picks up a big second out.
Yeah, definitely not a ball that really anybody could run on from third base, even though Britton has some speed and just really shallow right center field.
So now Raymond Gill going to try and take advantage of runners at the corners with now 2 away. Orleans already a 2-0 lead here at Veterans Field. Gill 0 for 1, grounded out to end the first inning. Dane Acker working from the first base side of the rubber. Now he's set at the chest. Checks on Troiani at first base, and Max a headlong dive in. Gill out of the University of Miami. Couple Miami Hurricanes in the ballpark tonight on either side. 3 for Chatham, 2 for the Firebirds. But only 1 in the starting lineups for either side. It's Ray Gill. First pitch to Gill. Troiani running. Fastball taken on the outside corner. Throw down from Smith, not in time. So Max Troiani steals his 3rd bag of the summer, and the Birds running rampant on the base paths.
Well, I mentioned over the last 5 games during this winning streak, they've really started to get more and more aggressive on the base paths. And this is a team that has the 2nd fewest stolen bases in the Cape League. But tonight, they're running like they're the best.
You also have to take into account Brady Smith, a converted infielder, back behind the dish. 0-1 the count to Ray Gill. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball misses low, blocked by Smith, and it's 1-1. Firebirds 2, Anglers nothing, but the Birds threatening for more. They've got 2 runners in scoring position with 2 away in the 3rd. Gill 7 RBIs across his first 13 games in the Orleans Red. Righty on righty matchup with 2 away. The 1-1. Fastball chopped back off the foot of Gill. He'll hobble on the first base side, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, it's one of those stingers. Anything around the ankle or toe or foot area in general. Not a pleasant feeling. Gill tries to walk it off.
Gill still laboring around the right-handed batter's box. He'll grab some dirt and step back in. No batting gloves for Ray as we've seen during this stretch. He's been on base in the last 9 ball games. 3 home runs to show for so far this summer. That's tied for 2nd best in the CCBL. 1-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball bounces low. Smith blocks it to the 3rd base side. Britton thought about charging home, then retreated back to the bag, and it's 2-2.
Again, Brady Smith coming up big with a good block. Pushes the ball up the line.
So already 1 run home in the inning for the Firebirds, looking to make it at least 2 or 3 right here with a base hit. 2-2 the count. Acker set. Here's the pitch. Fastball that Gill lines down the right side and out of play, and we'll do it again. And at the very least, Orleans starting to run the pitch count up of Dane Acker. Now that's not a problem for Tom Holliday. He's been using this 3-pitcher system all summer. Dane Acker starting tonight. Cole Ayers expected to follow, with Zarian Sharp to come in after that. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd. The pitch. Fastball runs off the plate, and the count runs full. Troiani aboard at second. Britton 90 feet away with the Firebirds leading the Anglers 2-0. And Raymond Gill, the first baseman from the University of Miami, digs back in from the right side. Gill extends the all-red bat right at Acker. Now bends the knees. Waggles the bat over the right shoulder with Acker coming set. Here's the payoff pitch. Fastball crushed to left field. Swanson on the run. This ball's going to drop for a base hit. Britton's in from 3rd. Charging around from 2nd is Troiani. And cruising into 2nd base with a 2 RBI double is Raymond Gill. The Birds extend their lead. It's 4-0 in favor of Orleans.
What can we say? The Birds are hot, and Ray Gill, it seems like over this 5-game winning streak, he's been the guy that really has opened things up. You know, one hit that comes on the top of my mind is a hit in Harwich where he supplied a 2-run double that really provided the insurance runs for the Firebirds. And here, only a 2-0 lead. I'll provide 2 more, says Ray Gill.
So the Firebirds 3 runs home in the inning as they've taken a 4-0 lead over the Anglers. And now Danny Soretti, the batter for Orleans, the 7th hitter this inning for the Firebirds. First pitch, curveball doesn't break, stays up for ball 1. Orleans has scored 4 runs on 5 hits, including 3 in this inning on 3 hits. The Anglers still scoreless here in the top of the 3rd. Gill aboard at second with 2 away, and the switch-hitting second baseman Danny Soretti back in from the left side. The 1-0. Fastball right down the chute, and it's 1-1. Soretti, a strikeout victim his first time up, went down swinging. 1 of 3 Ks for Dane Acker this evening so far. Sun starting to set at Veterans Field, behind the trees beyond the left field fence. The 1-1. Breaking ball that Soretti swings through, and it's 1-2.
Get a nice orange and blue skyline and a left field. Of course, now it's starting to cool down a little. Feels a lot better. Humidity it was very humid today. We can just put it like that. Temperature in mid-80s.
So a chance for Danny Soretti to extend this inning for the Firebirds. Behind in the count, 1-2. The pitch from Acker. Fastball sawed off down the left side, but Soretti behind, and we'll do it again.
Yeah, pitch on the hands, and Soretti almost going the other way down the third base side. Would have definitely scored. Ray Gill from second base.
Gill aboard at second. Soretti steps back in. The All-ACC freshman team selection. 1-2. Breaking ball taken low and inside, and it's 2-2. Shea Whitcomb, the shortstop from UC San Diego, waits on deck. He flew out his first time up, almost hit the ball out of the yard himself. Soretti rubs the red and black bat over the chalk in the left-handed batter's box. Acker taking his time. He's set. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch. Breaking ball waved out and missed, strike 3. Sharp 78-mile-an-hour hook from Acker retires the Orleans Firebirds. But not before Orleans scores 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. After 2.5, it's Orleans 4, Chatham nothing. And Thomas with the Firebirds leading early here at Veterans Field. Let's look around the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Well, one game is final currently right now. The Brewster Whitecaps defeat the Harwich Mariners 7-5. As the Mariners continue to drop a couple games in a row here, they drop to now 7-11 on the season as the Whitecaps pick up a much-needed win. In the bottom of the 6th, in the Commodores, they lead the Cotuit Kettleers 3-1, and Arnie Allen down in the bottom of the 6th, as I mentioned. And then over in Hyannis, the YD Red Sox own a 7-run lead over the Harbor Hawks at 7-0. Also in the bottom of the 6th from McKean Park. Up in Wareham, the game in a 5 found their bats after they scored 28 runs in 3 games. The last 3 or 4 games or so, it has been a struggle, let's just say, in the run production department as they lead the Bourne Braves 7-1 in the top of the 4th inning at Spillane Field. Of course, the Firebirds will head to Wareham on Friday night after they are at Eldridge tomorrow night on July 4th.
So the Firebirds offense cruising early. Orleans 4, Chatham nothing as we head to the home half of the 3rd at Veterans Field. And boy, did that inning just flip on its head, Thomas, after the Firebirds got that stolen base.
It was just a number of things combined together. The stolen base, a base knock that was lost in the lights. I mean, it was a number of things that were really just out of the reach from Aker a little bit. But again, it's those mistakes that the opposing teams over this 5-game win streak have come to regret.
First pitch from Adam Simoneris, bunted up the third base side, but foul for strike 1 against Cooper Swanson, left fielder from Florida State. Swanson lost the ball down the left field line, allowing that bloop double for Zach Britton, with the Firebirds leading the Anglers 4-0 in the last of the 3rd. Swanson 0 for his first 3 in the Cape so far. Just playing in his 5th game for the Chatham Anglers. Lefty on righty matchup. Seminaris out of the winds-up. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball that ties up Swanson. Looked like he was swinging a sword, and it's 0-2.
Playing Fruit Ninja out there. Cutting the watermelon.
Now the count's no balls and 2 strikes. Seminaris out of the winds-up. Here's the pitch. Fastball rocketed into right field. Britton ranging to his right. Center fielder Kokoska coming on. Britton makes the call on the catch, and there's 1 down.
Well, so far, Britton's got a lot of work out there. That's the 3rd ball. All the flyouts so far in this game, there's been 3 of them have all gone to right field. A lot of these hitters are right-handers, so a little either laying the ball or it's in on the hands on these Chatham Anglers hitters.
Huey Morrill, the shortstop from Oklahoma State, steps in from the right side. First pitch from the southpaw. Fastball runs low and in for ball 1. Firebirds 4, Anglers nothing. Last of the 3rd at Veterans Field. Morrill 0 for 1 tonight. Flew out to right field his first time up. The 1-0. Fastball chopped foul, and it's 1-1. Morrill 2 for his first 12 now here with the Chatham A's. And you'll see the Oklahoma State pipeline for the Anglers, and rightfully so. Tom Holliday, the longtime skipper of Oklahoma State. Obviously, the father of longtime MLB star Matt Holliday.
Couple coaches like that. Mike Roberts over at Katuitt, son Brian Roberts. Of course, the longtime second baseman for the Baltimore Orioles.
So 1-1 the count to Huey Morrill as Rick Emerson continues to try and shake off the foul ball. Morrill steps back in from the right side with Orleans on top of Chatham 4-0. Seminaris a deep breath, rocks and fires the 1-1. Breaking ball that ties up Morrill, he couldn't hold off, and it's 1-2. And that's peak Adam Seminaris. Not only is he throwing first pitch strikes, but he is really painting his breaking ball where he wants it, keeping hitters off balance. Here's the 1-2, breaker at 81 that's fought off once again by Morrill, and we'll do it again.
And again, that pitch count only at 30 pitches right now through 2 1/3 innings. So a guy that can give you at least 4, maybe even 5 innings.
That's what it's been so far for Orleans starters. 1-2. Breaking ball runs low and in, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Morrill, a Big 12 honorable mention this past season at Oklahoma State. Went from all the way from Live Oak, Florida, coming out to Cape Cod. A world traveler, to say the least. The 2-2. Fastball clobbered to left field. Troiani on the run to his left, makes the grab shoulder high for the second out of the inning.
Well, that was the Orleans MO in the beginning of the season. They had a lot of hard hit balls out to the outfielders right at guys. And Morrill got robbed of a hit there as it's right at the left fielder, Troiani.
So that will bring up Tyler Jones, the second baseman from West Virginia. And boy, did he show off his athleticism in the last inning. Tried leaping for a flare shot, but couldn't come up. That was the leadoff single for Tanner Murray. First pitch to Jones. Fastball nips the outside corner for strike 1. Firebirds 4, Anglers nothing, last of the 3rd at Veterans Field. Jones flew out his first time up back in the first inning. The 0-1. Fastball misses off the dish, and it's 1-1. Jones a rising junior for the Mountaineers. Adam Seminaris looks like he was getting attacked by some bugs on the mound. Takes the white cap and starts fighting them off.
He's ducking. There must be a horde of them out there behind the mound.
Now grabs some dirt with the left hand, rubs it just above the kneecap on that left leg.
Jones as well, when he stepped out, rubbed his eyes.
The 1-1. Breaking ball beautifully paints the inside corner. A changeup from Seminaris, and it's 1-2. Jones, originally from Georgia, decided to go up the East Coast to play for the Mountaineers. Here's the 1-2 from Seminaris. Breaking ball that ties up Jones, strike 3. Avidio will toss it down to Gill to complete the strikeout First K of the evening for Adam Seminaris, who retires the Anglers in order here in the third. After 3, it's the Firebirds 4, Anglers nothing, and Alec Hending working his way down to the Orleans dugout to chat with Kelly Nicholson with the Firebirds on top of the Anglers. Alec, let's send it down to you with Skip.
It is with their support that we are able to preserve our long-standing tradition.
All right, thanks, guys. I'm here with Orleans manager Kelly Nicholson. Skip up 4-0 early. A lot going right for the offense. Adam Seminaris keeps doing his thing. What do you see early?
Yeah, a lot's going on with the offense, and Seminaris is doing his thing. So you hit it right on the head. A lot of ball game left. You know, I think we learned that last night, up 7, and Hyannis scored 5 and had the bases loaded. So you got to. Chatham's good, man. That's a good lineup, and they're going to run some good arms out at us the rest of the game. So a lot of ball game left.
Tanner Murray, he starts the double play in the top of the or bottom of the second inning, and then he gets the double or gets the hit and scores. But the athletic play to slide into second there. A lot of aggressive running on the bases so far. What are you seeing from the guys?
We did a good job. It was a very good slide by Tanner, and Zach Britton made a good dirt ball read going to third base. So, yeah, so far so good.
Now, I just saw this as a side angle view. Well, we don't truly get to appreciate until I saw just how good David Avidia is framing the ball. You talk about how good he is on the low pitch. How much does that just help all your pitchers?
Yeah, it helps everybody. He's an elite defender. You're going to have to go ways to find a better catch and throw guy in the country.
Thanks, Skip.
Yeah, you bet, Alec.
Back to you guys.
And thank you, Alec. That was our sign reporter, Alec Henning, filling in for Scotty Gage, but doing an unbelievable job down there interviewing Kelly Nicholson, the manager for the Orleans Firebirds, calling him an elite defender. David Avitia, the catcher, an elite defender behind the dish. Some high praise there from Kelly Nicholson.
And rightfully so, the way this Orleans pitching staff has gone through the first chunk of the season. They've been great, but it can't go without being noticed how great Seminaris and Avidia have been, just the two of them as well, not to forget Seminaris, but Avidia just so sharp, spotting up pitches, steals some strikes, and helps out Adam Seminaris, helps out the pitching staff, and part of the reason why the Orleans Firebirds lead the Cape in pitching.
It definitely helps in that aspect as well, as David Avitia continues to continue his unbelievable pitch framing here on Cape Cod as our new pitcher is on the mound here. Start things off in the top of the 4th inning. Zach Sharp, the southpaw from UNC Wilmington, of course. Greg Jones from UNC Wilmington played here last year. Led the Cape League in stolen bases. So Acker's evening is done. He goes 3 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. As Sharp is called upon here to keep this deficit at 4. Firebirds lead 4-0 here at the top of the 4th inning. From Veterans Field, 5 hits used by the Anglers. First pitch off speed. Outside edge for strike 1 on Shea Whitcomb, the shortstop. 0-for-1 at the dish. Flew out back in the second. Had some warning track power towards the left center of the 357 side. Sharp working from the windup. 0-1 pitch. Just misses low and outside for ball 1. Count 1-1. Sharp so far on the Cape has not allowed a run. Pitched 6 innings, 9 strikeouts. He's the first man out of the Anglers bullpen that Tom Holliday has called upon. Sharp works the third base side of the rubber as the 1-1 pitch misses down on the zone. Count 2-1 on Whitcomb.
A defensive change as well for the Anglers. Colin Hall from Georgia Tech coming into the ball game for Cooper Swanson. So after Swanson lost that ball and the lights looked ugly in his AB, Tom Holliday making the early switch.
Not afraid to do that as a 2-1 pitch is nubbed up the first base side towards the hole. Dones comes in, flips down to the pitcher in Sharp over at first base as Wallace, the first baseman, came converging on with Dones as well. Where the Adders recorded a 4-1 putout as Whitcomb is retired to start things off here in the 4th.
Yeah, the very rare 4-1 putout as well, but that was just an in-betweener to the right side where Dones and Wallace got really tied up of who was going to take that baseball. Wallace even had to duck to allow really a lane for Dones to connect up with Sharp on the bump.
So it was a team effort on the play over there as Wallace had to duck out of the way. David Avidia, the catcher, first pitch misses high and out for ball one. Again, here at the top of the fourth inning, one out from Veterans Field. 4-0 Firebirds lead. As a video just mentioning in between that half inning, our slime reporter Alec Hendon interviewing Ken Nicholson. Avidi being called an elite defender. 1-0 pitch is the line through the hole on the left side of left field for a base hit. And David Avida takes a strong turnaround first, and he's aboard here with one out in the fourth.
How about that with the bat, too? Showing everything at Veterans Field in the early going, and he's continuing to put together better at bats. Sometimes the results haven't been there for Avidia, but now he's starting to see them come, and this is a good sign for the Orleans Firebirds if they can get their catcher producing offensively.
Well, we mentioned Zach Daniels really starting to put things around. He's not lined up tonight, but a guy like Shea Wickham as well, and Seretti, who's come around over the last couple games or so. As Sharp will work from the stretch for the first time tonight. First pitch misses upstairs on Tanner Murray for ball one. Murray, the guy that started that 3-run third inning with a single, and then he stole a bag over at second base, able to circumvent the tag from Morrill, the shortstop. So Murray over at first base. Sharp glancing over right at the catcher Avitia. 1-0 pitch bounces in off the mitt of the catcher Smith. Count heads to 2-0. Murray steps out. Look towards the third base coach's box at Jamie Quinn. As he'll dig back in the back end. If you look at Tanner Murray's jersey as well, he has some dirt all the way on the right shoulder. Was able to avoid the tag, almost going airborne. 2-0 pitch, a wave and a miss for strike one. Count 2-1. Tanner Murray jersey number 41, so the dirt is up and above the one part of his jersey on the back end. Heck of a slide from Tanner Murray. Sharp kicks and deals. A 2-1. A pitch is roped out towards right field. Well, Gwynn moves over a step or two right at him. He'll make the catch for the second out. So another hard hit ball for Tanner Murray, this time right at the right fielder in O'Gwyn. And now with two outs, it's Zach Kokoska trying to prolong this fourth inning with two down. Avitia over at first base after his one-out single. Kokoska so far 1 for 2. Singled back in the first, stole a bag, and came around to score for the Firebirds' first run. Lefty-lefty matchup, first pitch swinging and a pitch in the dirt for strike one. Sharp so far, only 11 pitches have been used to retire two hitters. Looks to work his way out of this fourth inning unscathed. As he'll check in. Sharp will check in over on the first base side. Avidia taking a healthy lead over at first. Sharp comes set from the belt. 0-1 pitch, number right back to the pitcher. In Sharp fields it, turns around, throws a bullet over to first base. And Kokoska is retired here to end things here in the top half of the fourth inning. It's a 4-0 Firebirds lead after 3.5. Listen to Firebirds baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network.
Here's the 1-2 pitch again. It's a breaker that Samuelson just looked like he was swinging a tennis racket at and couldn't make contact. It's the second strikeout of the inning for Wilcox. And they're
way to go back in there to Andrew Abbott. 1-2 fast.
The 1-0 pitch. Fastball catches the inside corner, and it's 1-1. And you
The right fielder from the University
Home half of the fourth inning from Veterans Field. It's the Firebirds 4, the Anglers nothing. Here in the Birds broadcast network, Thomas Inzarella joined alongside Josh White on this beautiful July 3rd evening, as the sun is pretty much set here at 8:08. Still a little bit of light up in the sky, but the sun is down below the trees in left field. Adam Seminaris back on the hill for the Firebirds. First pitch runs up and out of the zone on Jamal O'Gwin, the right fielder. Count 1-0. Seminaris so far only allowed 3 hits through 3+ innings. 1-0 pitches rope right back up the middle, past the glove of Seminaris into center field for a base hit. As the shift was on once again on the left side of the infield, but O'Gwin sends it right back up the middle for the second time tonight. So O'Gwin, someone like the major leagues where you have to beat the shift, he's beat it twice so far by being right on the fastball from Seminaris.
I wonder if the Firebirds will stop shifting now against O'Gwin and just play straight up. There's nothing wrong with shifting. I have nothing against it. They're playing the analytics, and just 2 balls tonight that O'Gwin has hit have gone the other way.
You can't get them all, that's for sure. It's Paxton Wallace from the right side facing a left-hander Seminaris. First pitch fastball up and in for ball 1.
And all the credit has to go to Jamal O'Gwin. The Firebirds did their homework. They're positioning themselves where they see fit, but O'Gwin has seen the shift, and he says, you know what, I'll do my thing.
Even if they're in their normal positioning, those balls would still reach the outfield. Seminaris kicks and fires. 1-0 fastball. Just missing the outside corner. Count 2-0 on Wallace. So O'Gwin, who's beat the shift twice now over at first base. Wallace in the count, 2-0. 4 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Firebirds. No runs, 4 hits, and no errors for the Anglers. Trying to start something here in the 4th inning. Seminaris long pause on the hill. 2-0 pitch. Pitch upstairs, cut on a miss for strike 1. 2 balls and a strike against Paxton Wallace. He's got 6 hits on this Cape League season, 6 for 25. 2 of them have been long balls. Seminaris takes a deep breath. That's a 2-1 pitch. Is a major league pop-up on front of the infield. Ray Gill coming in. Gliding in towards the pitcher's mound. Some last-second movement, but makes the catch for the first out.
At first, Adam Seminaris called that baseball, and you know when the pitcher calls the baseball, that spells trouble. Again, the pitcher has to come off the mound, track that ball just like any other player would. But they've got to go from a higher elevation after following through and exerting a ton of energy. Gill called him off in plenty of time, but then, like you mentioned, that ball just drifted a little closer to the pitcher's mound than Gill initially anticipated, but he was able to hold on.
The wind in straightaway, or the flag, in straightaway center is not blowing, but just some tail movement there. First pitch, grounded towards the second baseman. So he flips it on a shortstop. Coming across the bag is Whitcomb in time. A 4-6-3 double play. A bang-bang play at first in the stretch from Gill. Gets Polkovich retired. So O'Gwin started off the inning with a single, but it ends with a double play. After 4, it's the Firebirds 4, the Anglers nothing. As we'll send over to our silent reporter, Alec Hendon, for some more. Alec?
Visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBO20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
Well, we apologize for some technical difficulties, but Thomas, I know what Alec was going to talk about, and I fully support every word he was going to say. And he was going to talk about the great establishment they called Land Ho in Orleans, Massachusetts. You can go early during the day, you can go late. They are probably open as late as you will find in Orleans, right on Main Street in Orleans, Massachusetts. You can get some good clam chowder, you can get a good burger, you can get some alcohol if you're of age. It is a fantastic establishment to go for some food.
I'm sure tomorrow on July 4th, might be open a little earlier, parade at 10 a.m. Rolling right past the Land Ho on Main Street in Orleans. Definitely a bite to eat we get sometimes after a game. As we'll step aside here from Veterans Field, it's the Firebirds 4, Anglers nothing. Listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network.
Zach Britton.
Top 5 here from Veterans Field. The Firebirds holding a 4-run cushion over the Chatham Anglers. The first time again these two teams have met in this 2019 season. This is the last team that the Firebirds, of all 10 teams in the Cape League, or all other 9 teams, this is the last team the Firebirds have had to face. Harwich was the other one, and facing earlier this week. As Zach Britton, the 2-hole hitter for the Firebirds, will dig it from the left side. First pitch curveball dips in at the belt. On Britton for strike 1. Left-hander Sharp back on the hill. Only needed 12 pitches to retire the Firebirds in the 4th. Called upon here for another inning. Sharp from the windup, the 0-1 fastball. Catches the bottom part of the zone for strike 2. 0-2 on Zach Britton. Britton had an RBI double back in the 3rd inning. A ball that was lost in the lights by the left fielder Swanson. Really helped the Firebirds pull open this 4-run lead as the 0-2 curveball misses low and outside for ball 1. Count 1-2 on Britton. Britton, the right fielder from Louisville. It's been a nice addition along with Matt Goodhart here in this Firebirds lineup. And it has helped them in this 5-game winning streak. As time is called by Brennan, Sharp is ready to rock and roll. Step back on the mound. Sharp gets the sign once again. Britton waves the bat. As now a bug looks like it gets in the eye of Zach Sharp, and he steps off the back end. So it must be some type of, I don't know, gnat or mosquito, just kind of.
I think we know the explanation. Zarian Sharp and Adam Simonaris both have not taken showers yet today. It's the only explanation.
That is true. As the 1-2 pitches reach for it. Shot out towards deep right field. Going back at the track is the right fielder O'Gwin, who nabs it at the track for the first out.
Thomas, I know we mentioned the flag in center not gusting out at any stretch of the imagination, wind blowing out at 3 miles an hour tonight. But there have been a lot of deep fly balls off the end of the bat by a bunch of hitters on both sides. Now Britton, we saw Whitcomb earlier in this ball game. Even Raymond Gill's shot had a chance to leave the yard. The ball is really carrying at Veterans Field tonight.
Yeah, Veterans Field carries the ball a little bit more. Again, just 314 down the right and left field line. If you can pull one down there, first pitch of Trani pops it up and out of play behind the snack shack on the first base sign. Count 0-1. Of course, the All-Star game was held here back in 2016, and it was fun to watch. There's a bunch of balls just going over on the road behind the hill on the right field side. 0-1 pitch to Triani. Fastball misses low and outside for ball 1. Count 1-1.
Well, there's two things I want to talk about that. Obviously, if you're Chatham, you try and build your team around that, and you get some big boppers in your lineup. And Tom Holliday, year 1, did that especially. The Anglers led the Cape League in home runs a season ago.
1-1 pitch bounces in as it skips up and hits the home plate umpire Rick Emerson on the mask.
They obviously had Spencer Torkelson from Arizona State, Drew Mendoza from Florida State. Plenty of guys in the heart of that lineup. Blake Sable, who participated in the home run hitting contest. Those 3 guys really anchored the heat of that Chatham lineup. But even think about this summer. They have Torkelson back, obviously, with Team USA. But Alex Terrell hit 24 home runs this past season at Miami. They are finding guys that can leave the yard in a hurry.
2-1 from Sharp. Fastball runs up and out of the zone. Count heads to 3-1. And they had definitely, I think, had one of the deepest lineups last year on the Cape. 1 through 9. Michael Bush as well. Then you have the speeding Greg Jones. John Ray, the contact guy, in the 1 spot. Blake Sable, as well as a 3-1 pitch from Sharp. Trani rolls over it down the third base line just past Jamie Quinn in the coach's box. Count 3-2.
Now, the other point I wanted to make, Orleans and Chatham last summer, they played here late July. James Freed II, a switch hitting catcher from Pacific, hit one of the furthest balls you will ever see at Veterans Field. Hit it so far it went over the hill in Chatham all the way across the fire station and hit a truck on Depot Road.
That is far. Count 3 balls and 2 strikes here in Toronto with 1 down here at the top of the 5th. Nobody on. Sharp rocks and fires. 3-2 pitch. Misses low and inside. Toronto tosses the bat to the first base dugout. Works his second walk in this game. So the average might not be going up, but the on-base percentage is for Max Trani in this game.
He's fun to watch. I know we said that so many times about A.J. Lewis before. Unfortunately, he had to go home due to an injury, but he just finds ways to get on, plays the game the right way, and the biggest thing you'll see from him, he hustles every time. Every time out of the box, he's busting down the line, and the best part is doing it with a smile.
Doing it with a smile for sure. Beat out a couple infield singles yesterday to add to his tally of hits on Cape Cod. First pitch check swing from Goodhart. Goes around, says home plate up by Rick Emerson. So Goodhart drove in the first run for the Firebirds in the first. A little squibber down the left field line past the third baseman Arenas. As the Firebirds look to try to tack on a few more here in the fifth inning, they lead 4-0. 0-1 from Sharp, showing bunt is Goodhart. Gets past the catcher Smith and will trigger toward the backstop as Tirani will cruise into second base. Another 90 feet closer to home.
And again, was that the easiest pitch to block from Zarian Sharp? No, but Brady Smith, again, he has very limited experience playing behind the dish. He's just in his second year, if you will, trying to play catcher. Just played his first season at Florida behind the plate and now transitioning to the full-time role.
It is not an easy position to learn on the fly. Especially trying to manage a pitcher's, how to go through an at-bat as the 1-1 fastball runs above the letters on Goodhart. Count 2-1. And Max Tirani yesterday, if you checked out our Orleans Firebirds Twitter, he can do it all, signing autographs after the game. And one was just very interesting. He signed a foot of a young Orleans Firebird fan. You don't see that every day. 2-1, pitch fouled off the mid of Smith, count 2-2.
Now that was after signing another 20 autographs prior to that. On top of, he told the kid, he warned him before signing the foot, this is probably going to tickle. And the kid was laughing the entire time. I know Scotty Gage is going to have Max Tirani maybe sign his foot in a couple weeks.
That'll be interesting to see. We saw Toy Story 4 here in Chatham. It's kind of like a little Toy Story reference with Andy on the bottom part of the foot. 2-2 pitch, reach for. Blown out towards shallow center field. Gets past the diving shortstop Morrow into center field for a base hit. Throw in towards home plate as Goodhart will take another 90 feet. He cruises into second base as the Firebirds have two men in scoring position with just one out here at the top of the fifth inning.
A heads-up play from Matt Goodhart as the Orleans Firebirds have ran the bases very well tonight. That throw from Caden Polkovich came into the catcher Smith, and with the first baseman Paxton Wallace, the cutoff man, nobody was covering first base. So that allowed Goodhart to get pretty much halfway down between first and second. He saw the throw go past the cutoff man and just cruised into second base.
Goodhart on second, Tirani over at third with just one down here. The top of the fifth inning, 4-0 Firebirds lead. Zarian Sharp running to a bit of trouble here in the fifth after a scoreless fourth inning. Ray Gill at the dish. And the University of Miami already has a two-run double added to his name. He has half the run so far for the Firebirds. Takes the first pitch on the outside corner for strike one. So Goodhart now with two hits on the evening as Ray Gill looks to add a second here in his third AB. Gill from the right side facing the left-hander Sharp. Again, runners on second and third. Infield in for the Anglers here as they try to cut Tirani off at home. Ray Gill calls time as he pokes around his eye level. Again, very buggy night here in Chatham. Seen a couple pitchers and hitters so far calling time. Sharp takes a deep breath. The 0-1 pitch. Gill fouls it back to the screen. Behind home plate, count 0-2 on Gill. Again, that two-run double in the third accounted for two of the three runs in that half inning. Firebirds with 7 hits in this ball game off the Chatham Anglers pitching so far. Gill kicks some dirt around. Waves it back towards Sharp. So he waits and holds for the pitch. The 0-2 from Sharp. Fastball rolled over up the third base side, letting go foul. As Max Tirani picks the ball up in foul ground at the third base bag. So they do it again at 0-2. Cadell from the, you could hear from the Chatham Anglers third base dugout. Yelling to Arenas to let that go foul. As the ball started in fair territory, and then it took a hard left and went foul. Scale will take his time stepping into the right side. Takes a deep breath. Get infield in for the Anglers here. We just won out. The top of the fifth inning, 4-0 Firebirds lead. Gill holds the barrel of the bat on his shoulder, picks it up now. Well, the 0-2 once more. Reach for, swung on a miss for strike three. And Sharp picks up a big strikeout victim in Ray Gill to make it 2 outs here in this fifth inning. Infield will move back now with 2 outs as the Firebirds still have runners on second and third. So now it's up to Danny Soretti, the second baseman from UNC. Again, switch hitter with the left-hander Sharp on the hill. Will bat from the right side. Soretti so far 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Looks to change his fortunes here. Sharp from the windup. First pitch runs off the plate for ball 1. I noticed in batting practice a few days ago from Soretti there, you see a couple guys when they use the wood bat or just even with the metal bat as well, they'll curl their bottom pinky finger onto the knob of the bat. 1-0 pitch. Runs up and off the plate on Soretti. Excuse me, it's in there. Count 2 balls and no strikes on Soretti. And Sharp works from the windup. Triani getting a fake head start over at third base when Sharp is in the windup. The 2-0 pitch of Soretti skips into the dirt, scooped up in the mitt by the catcher, Brady Smith. Count heads to 3-0.
Yeah, well, I sent it before. At least it says on my phone that it did. Well, on my phone it says that it did. It's fine, whatever.
Again, runners on second and third with 2 outs here. In the top of the fifth inning, 4-0 Firebirds lead over the Anglers. 22 pitches thrown in this half inning alone from Zarian Sharp. 2-1 of Soretti. Fastball right down the chute.
Yeah, they said just be careful because you see how there's holes here, man? Christ. They said this was still setting and like it's not 3 holes. Just remember that. Wonderful.
Count 3 balls and 1 strike here on Danny Soretti. Sharp from the windup once more. The pitch. The 1 is popped high in there and out of play. Behind the bleachers on the first base side. The count is full now at 3-2. Soretti walks out of the right-hander's batter's box, kicks some dirt on the front side. As he'll dig into the back end of that white chalk. Good hard on second, Trani at third. 2 down here in the inning. Sharp will step off, readjust his cap as he wipes the dirt off from the right, white rubber. With a 3-2 to Soretti. Soretti slices it out over the Orleans dugout side. Count once again remains 3-2.
And there's a good bat from Danny Soretti. It's obviously tough to be a switch hitter, but now get switched around within a span of a couple of innings. And that's exactly what Tom Holliday has done to Soretti. He had the right-hander in the ball game, Dane Acker. Now goes to Zarian Sharp. And Soretti, a natural left-handed hitter, has to hit from the right side, but putting some good swings and a good fight despite striking out a couple times this evening.
Putting up a good fight here against Zarian Sharp with 2 down. Works the 7th pitch of the AB. 3-2 pitch. Misses well outside for ball 4. And Soretti tosses the bat, takes off the ankle guard, and will trot down the first base side. So with 2 down here still in the top of the 5th inning, Firebirds 4, Anglers nothing. The bases are loaded for Shea Wickham. Getting to start at shortstop tonight for the Firebirds. We've seen him play all around. Shortstop, third, DH. As his bat has been big in this lineup as of late. Went 1 for 3 with a run yesterday. Had a double in the second. First pitch swing and cut on a miss for strike 1. Wickham so far, quiet night from the right side. flew out and he grounded out. Of course, that fly out back in the second went all the way to the warning track in left center. Almost had a chance to get out. Sharp still working from the windup. 0-1 a pitch. Misses the outside corner for ball one. Count 1-1. Game with 2 down in the inning. Sharp working from the stretch. All the infielders playing behind the bag. Doan's playing a little bit up the middle more a little bit. As the 1-1 pitch. Off-speed pitch at the belt on the outside edge for strike 2.
That's a sharp curveball. Pardon the pun from Zarian Sharp. Just the way that he was able to command it on the outside part of the plate. Just really dropping it in there. And again, the key to this all, Thomas, we've hit on it time and time again throughout the summer. First pitch strikes. Let's go to your tools of weapons.
Sharp steps off as he wants a word with the catcher, Brady Smith. He singles towards him. Trying to find a way how to deal with Shea Whitcomb here to end the 5th. Again, 2 outs at the top of the 5th inning. 4-0 Firebirds lead. They struck early in the first inning with a Matt Goodhart single. And then a double from Britton, and then a 2 RBI double from Ray Gill in the 3rd inning. Have put the Firebirds ahead here. They're trying to tack on a few more here in the 5th. Bases loaded with 2 outs. Shea Whitcomb at the dish, count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Trani over at 3rd. Goodhart at 2nd, and Soretti worked to walk his last AB, the last batter, is over at 1st. Whitcomb open stance from the right side. The 1-2 pitch, cut out of miss for strike 3. Whitcomb goes down swinging, and the Firebirds leave the bases loaded. No runs on 1 hit. No errors, but 3 men left on base for the Firebirds here in the top of the 5th inning. After 4.5, it's the Firebirds 4 and the Anglers nothing. As we'll take a look around the league leaders. We'll first take a look at the standings. Again, the Firebirds 11-4-2. They lead the East. Chatham 10-6-1, tied with YD for 2nd. So the Anglers and the Firebirds facing off. Here are the 2 best teams in the East, some of the 2 best teams in the Cape League as well. Brewster 8-1 behind Chatham and YD, and Harwich dropped the game today to Brewster. So Brewster actually 9-8-1 in the season, and Harwich 7-11. Out into the West Division, Katuitt leads the West with 20 points. They're 9-7-2. Gateman 9-8-1. They're 2nd. Falmouth in 3rd, 6-7-1. Bourne 6-10 so far this year, and Hyannis 3-13-1. They round out the bottom. Some of the league leaders, Max Strine, of course, he's 3rd in the league in average, behind Nick Gonzalez out of Katuitt, and Wyatt Young with a 372 average. Gonzalez hitting 377. Then there's Troiani, who's at 362.
Now, the categories you don't see here, Thomas, is how Max Troiani is in the top 5 in hitting. And he's done it in a multitude of ways, but mainly with multi-hit performances. Those hits have come in bunches. He leads the league with 8 multi-hit games already. And there's one other odd category he leads the league in, singles.
He's a singles machine, as we call him here on the broadcast. As Brady Smith, the catcher, will start things off against Seminaris. Lefty-righty matchup. Seminaris, the left-hander on the mound against the right-hander Smith. First pitch, Scott up in there towards right field. The right fielder, Britton, racing back to the track, just in front of the wall at the warning track, and makes the catch for a loud out number 1. And Smith is retired here to start things off in the 5th. So Jorge Arenas, the 3rd baseman, now due up for the Anglers. He singled back in the 2nd inning. Where'd Josh go? I gotta go to the bathroom.
Seriously? I'll do it.
First pitch to Arenas, comes inside and hits him. It's a hit by pitch. So with 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning, Firebirds 4, Anglers nothing. As Arenas reaches base over at 1st with 1 down. And welcome on Bryce Johnson onto the broadcast.
How's it going, Thomas? Fantastic night for baseball, isn't it?
It is a beautiful night for baseball. So Charlie Welch, the DH, now from the right side. Great crowd on hand tonight in Chatham for this Cape Cod Baseball League game, regular season Cape League game. St. Mary's kicks and fires. First pitch misses low and outside for ball 1 to Welch.
And a big-time rivalry between these two squads. And it's fantastic as Josh is back, so I'll hand the mic back over to him.
1-0 pitch at the belt for strike 1. Count 1-1. Count 1 ball and a strike here on Welch. Here with 1 down here in the bottom of the 5th inning. 1-1 pitch, off speed from Seminaris. Runs off the plate, count 2-1 on Welch. Welch doing a little shimmy dance. From the right-hander's batter's box is Seminaris. Stepped off the rubber for the second. Two one pitch misses low and outside for ball 3. Count 3-1 on Welch here, the DH. Again, 4-0 Firebirds lead here in the bottom of the 5th inning. 7 hits for the Firebirds so far. Three one pitch looped out towards the first base side, but out of play as Ray Gill gave it a look. Count 3-2 as Arenas, after hit by a pitch, is over at first base after Smith flew out.
Yeah, and this is Seminaris. You'd have to imagine this is his last inning of work. A right-hander starting to toss in the Orleans bullpen. He's been sharp all night, just the way that Kelly Nicholson has managed his club in the early part of the summer. Hasn't pushed anyone beyond the 5-inning mark.
3 balls, 2 strikes to hear from Seminaris. Looks over towards first at Arenas. Fires Tomes. Arenas running on the pitch. 3-2 pitch is hammered out towards left field. Girani on the run. Back there looking up. It's gone. A 2-run blast by Charlie Welch, and the Anglers are on the board here in Chatham. As the Chatham faithful come to their feet, they cut into this deficit in half. It's a 4-2 Firebirds lead now.
Talk about a slump buster for Charlie Welch. 2 for his first 27 on the Cape, and that was an absolute no doubt 2-run blast, sailing just right of the left field scoreboard, and just like that, we have a ball game once again, Tom.
That's what Ken Nicholson said to Al Kennedy, our sound reporter, at the end of 3. He said, a lot of ball game just like yesterday against Hyannis when the Firebirds were up 7-0. Hyannis put up a 5-spot across 3 innings. It made it an interesting game. First pitch showing bunt on the outside corner for strike 1 to Colin Hall, who subbed in for Cooper Swanson in that 4th inning. It's his first AB in the game for Colin Hall. 0-1 a pitch in there for strike 2-2 on the Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket.
First lefty in the lineup used today as well by Tom Holliday.
Seminaris from the windup with 1 down. The 0-2. Cut on a miss for strike 3 pitch in the dirt. Vitia will do his daily task. Throw down to first base. And Hall is retired for a quick second out here after the 2-run home run from Charlie Welch. So the hit-by pitch coming back to haunt Adam Seminaris a bit here. Would have been a solo shot, but first pitch ran in on Arenas. So again, with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning, it's a 4-2 Firebirds lead now. Top of the order rolls back around. It's Huey Morrill. First pitch fastball at the belt for strike 1. Again, a right-hander warms in the Firebirds bullpen down the right field line. Time is called. The Seminaris is ready to rock and roll from the hill. 0-1 from Seminaris. Off-speed pitch tying up Morrow at the dish. He goes around, says the first base umpire, Jeff Mertzel. And the count is no balls and 2 strikes. Huey Morrow so far 0 for 2, flew out and lined out. That line out back in the third was a rocket off the bat, but right at the left fielder Troiani. 0-2 from Seminaris. Rolled over towards the third base side, fouls and dribbles towards the Chatham bullpen. Again, no balls and 2 strikes here on Morrow. Seminaris with 2 strikeouts tonight. Trying to end this 5th inning with back-to-back punch-outs. 0-2 pitch. Misses low and inside on Morrow. Count 1-2. I think another cool thing about Chatham is that they don the Chatham blue bats. Of course, my high school was blue and white, so I absolutely love the blue bats. Marcus Stroman, when he played at Duke and now plays the Blue Jays, had a blue glove. Wanted that as well. 1-2 pitch, misses above the letters. Count 2-2 on Morrow. So with 2 outs here, nobody on for the Anglers. It's a 4-2 Orleans lead. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes from Seminaris. Well, a pitch. Curveball. Fouled off by Morrow at the plate as it gets past the catcher, Vitio. As the ball boy for the Anglers will get his daily exercise behind the dish.
And that was just a half swing from Morrow. Just decided really late, probably by the time that ball was really touching the dirt.
Seminaris from the windup once more. The 2-2 pitch nubbed up towards the pitcher Seminaris. Turns, fields it, and fires on to first in time. So Morrow is retired here to end things in the 5th inning, but not before. The Anglers strike for 2 with the 2-run home run from Charlie Welch. It's 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. Or excuse me, 2 runs on 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on base. After 5, it's the Firebirds 4, Anglers 2. We'll be right back with the Firebirds baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network.
Okay, if you were to make a Firebirds jersey, a new one, an
okay.
Alternate Firebirds jersey.
Okay, I'd go all out on it. You
Okay.
know, I'd take the Firebirds. I'd build the Flames from the bottom. Of course, Flames, because I saw my buddy. It was in the Northwoods. They had the Star Wars night. Joey, shout out.
And they
Joey.
made Star Wars jerseys.
And they made like these kind of cool Star Wars. I'm pretty sure Star Wars. It was like a little Chewbacca, if I remember it correctly.
Yeah.
Of that, so like Firebirds. If it was like one of those nights, I'd build like the flames come from the bottom, and then like some crazy big bird like across the front of it, like with
wow.
some along those lines.
Keep going. I need this.
And then I get the back of it. That's where it'd say Firebird. Say on the back where like your last name would go.
Nice.
I've had the number down here.
What's the font look like on the back?
The font.
Is it sleek or is it like flames going out of it?
Probably a little sleek design, pretty sharp.
Pointy edges.
Yeah, pointy edges.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And then
dude, we should sell this to the team. This is
what else would it have? You got that, you got the bird, Firebirds on the back. I feel like it would be either a black base kind of jersey with the flames going up, or be kind of a red with like the flames, so we kind of go that way, but probably more of the black area of it. And I think that's probably what it'd be. I mean,
Orleans lead cut in half after the 2-run blast by Charlie Welch. It's a 4-2 Firebirds lead. First pitch from Zarian Sharp. A curveball catch to the outside corner, taken by David Avidia. The catcher tonight from Grand Canyon, 1 for 2. A single his last time up for the Orleans Firebirds. Lefty on righty matchup. Sharp out of the windup, the 0-1. Fastball runs outside, and it's 1-1. Sharp, the second pitcher used tonight by Tom Holliday. He started this ball game off with a right-hander, Dane Ecker, the 1-1. Fastball misses off the dish, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. But Holliday has employed a 3-pitcher plan the entire summer so far, trying to keep innings limits at a minimum and keep guys fresh. The 2-1 offering. Fastball hit on the screws into left field for a base hit, and David Avidia, a multi-hit performance here at Veterans Field, and he leads off the 6th with a single. So Orleans already up by 2, and the bottom part of their lineup giving them some production once again. Couple defensive changes for the Anglers. Brady Smith, the catcher, moves to first base, and Keaton Rice will replace Paxton Wallace, and come in to the catching duties. Tanner Murray, the third baseman from UC Davis, steps in from the right side. Sharp out of the stretch. Murray showing bunt, first pitch. Fastball taken low for ball one. Murray has showcased the glove, a double play tonight, but has also shown off the bat. A single in the third and came around to score. Also had a deep fly ball to right in the fourth. The southpaw Sharp extended on the third base side of the rubber. Now he's set at the belt. Checks on Aviti at first, 1-0. Murray showing bunt, pulls it back on the breaker that misses low and inside. It's 2 balls and no strikes. We've seen Kelly Nicholson play some small ball in the early parts of the summer, and it's worked out for Orleans. Firebirds 4, Anglers 2, here in the top of the 6th at Veterans Field. Murray giving himself up once again. Arenas charging in from third, 2-0. Fastball squared foul down the right side, and it's 2-1. So Aviti will have to walk back to first base, with Murray shooting a glance down to Jamie Quinn, the third base coach. Murray's still looking down there, and Quinn just looking right back at him. No signs given. So will the sign stay on for the bunt for Tanner Murray? Might be up to his discretion. A 9-hole hitter for the Birds back in. 2-1, shows bunt, gets it down the right side. Pitcher Sharp comes off the mound. His only play is the first. Sacrifice successful. It goes 1-3 on the scorecard, with David Aviti advancing to second.
The center fielder, number 16, Zach Kokoska.
So that will give Zach Kokoska, the leadoff man, a chance for the Firebirds. With Orleans a runner in scoring position and 1 away. Already up by 2 runs. Kokoska 1 for 3 tonight, a single to lead off this ball game way back when in the first inning. Lefty on lefty matchup, the first pitch. Fastball misses low, and Keaton Rice, the new catcher, gloves it down. Keaton Rice, a very interesting story. He was originally released by the Chatham Anglers, then reactivated the other day just to kind of hang around as a backup catcher. And now in this ball game, he's in a crucial spot. The 1-0. Fastball misses low, and once again, Rice blocks it down. It's 2 balls and no strikes.
Don't think anybody would object to stick around Cape Cod for a little bit longer.
Firebirds leading 4-2 over the Anglers, with a runner on second and 1 away here in the top of the 6th. Kokoska looking for RBI number 4 this summer. 2-0. Fastball taken off the plate, and it's 3 balls and no strikes. Kelly Nicholson told our sideline reporter Alec Hendon that despite being up 4-0 after 3 innings, he wasn't satisfied. Firebirds saw it last night. They led by 7 after the first 4. Then the Harbor Hawks scored 5 unanswered runs. 3-0 pitch. Fastball right down the chute. It's 3-1. And Hyannis last night, not only did they put the tying run on base, they put the go-ahead run on first as well in an inning. Then at any point throughout the ball game, in the 7th, 8th, and 9th, they had a chance to take the lead. But Isaac Esqueda, southpaw from USC, shut the door for the Firebirds. 3-1. Fastball skied on the left side of the infield. Third baseman Arenas charging in foul ground near the third base coaching box. He makes the 2-handed grab for the second out of the inning.
Well, there's nothing like a ball that is skied up into the Chatham night sky. Nice view here from our broadcast position on that skyline. And Swanson in the left field earlier in the game. Colin Hall now subbed and lost a ball out there, but Arenas watches this one all the way in and makes the grab and foul ground.
So now Zach Britton, the right fielder from Louisville, will try and take advantage of David Aviti on second base with only 1 away. And Dennis Cook, the pitching coach for the Chatham Anglers, comes out to have a word with Sharp, the catcher Rice. And now a deadbolt sprint back to the dugout by Dennis Cook. Clock that 60 time. He looks like he's in his prime.
You don't see that very often. Ron Polk takes a slow walk out there, and Matt Troop a little of a fast walk, I think. Ron Polk, pitching coach for Hyannis. Matt Troop, of course, one of our own here, the Firebirds.
So Sharp still in the ball game for Chatham, with the Firebirds leading the Anglers 4-2, threatening to add to their 2-run cushion. Zach Britton, who's 1 for 3 tonight, an RBI double, steps in for the left side. Southpaw Sharp set at the belt. Spin move back to second, and they got him. Sharp spun around, threw a bullet to Morrell. He applied the tag to pick off David Avidia, 2-6, and the side is retired. So the Firebirds score no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and they leave nobody left on base. After 5.5, it's the Firebirds 4, Anglers 2, and Thomas once again. Let's look around the Cape Cod Baseball League.
So again, before Brewster defeating Harwich today by a final score of 7-5 at the top of the 8th inning over in Falmouth. The Kettleers trailed the Commodores 6-1. In the bottom of the 8th inning in Hyannis, YD pours it on the Harbor Hawks. They lead 12-0. Of course, earlier this week, or late last week actually, the Anglers defeated YD 15-1 here at Veterans Field. The game in 7-2 lead over the Bourne Braves at the top of the 7th. Of course, here in the middle of the 6th, Firebirds with a 4-2 lead over the Anglers. Adam Seminaris' night is done here from Veterans Field. Seminaris goes 5 strong, allows 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. Again, all 2 runs coming off the home run last inning for the Anglers in the bottom of the 5th, 2-run blast. So we'll step aside. Here in the bottom of the 6th inning, it's the Firebirds 4, Anglers 2. Listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network.
Our goal is to keep you looking great.
4-2 Firebirds lead here in the home half of the 6th inning. As Dawson McCarville is a new pitcher on the hill for the Firebirds. Last pitch back on June 29th in Harwich. Picked up a 4-inning save. Was absolutely outstanding in Harwich. Struck out 4 of the 12 batters that he faced. As now he's called upon here in Chatham. Maybe not a 4-inning save this time around, but we'll have to see how long Kel Nicholson will go with Dawson. As first pitch misses upstairs to Tyler Dawns, the second baseman, for ball 1. So the Anglers trying to tack on a few more here after 2 in the 5th. It's a very similar game so far to Hyannis yesterday, as the 1-0 pitch is at the belt for strike 1, count 1-1. The Firebirds scored 7 in the first 4. It was every other inning, the second and the 4th. Today it's the first and the 3rd. They scored 4. And then Chatham now with 2 in the last half inning. If they can score a run here, it'll be very eerily similar. As the 1-1 pitch misses off the plate, count 2-1. Firebirds with 8 hits in this ball game so far. Chatham with 5. Ready matchup as McCarville fires a 2-1. A pitch dribble up the first base side as it will bounce foul. As Dawns was ready to rock and roll and cruise down the first base line. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes here. Start things off on the bottom of the 6th inning. It's a 4-2 Firebirds lead. Is the catcher Vitia. Puts his helmet back on. Of course, McCarville set to join Grand Canyon, pitching to his Grand Canyon University battery mate in David Vitia. McCarville from the windup. The 2-2 pitch. Fastball is popped up and out of play down the first base side. Fastball clocked at 90 miles an hour for McCarville. Again, count 2 balls and 2 strikes here on the Angler second baseman. Nobody on, nobody out to start things off in this half inning. The 2-2 pitch, reach for, brought right back up the middle. Hit hard on the ground into center field for a base hit. And the Anglers have the leadoff man aboard here to start things off in the 6th. So Jamal O'Gwin, the right fielder, who the Firebirds have not sat down yet, 2 for 2 with 2 singles. They will put the shift on once again. Again, the first 2 plate appearances, O'Gwin pushed the ball up the middle, past the pitcher Seminaris both times. So Murray's hugging the third baseline. Whitcomb more towards the hole, and just above second base is Serretti as he scoops it out. Just past Serretti, the second baseman at center field for a base hit. Make it 3 for 3 now in O'Gwin. He's beat the shift all 3 times. And you have to beg to question there, if Serretti was playing his normal position at double play depth, would he have caught that ball?
Yeah, I don't think so. Again, I think it's another instance where even if you are playing straight up or you have the middle back to try and turn 2, that flares for a base hit. It just shows you the smooth stroke of Jamal O'Gwin, that he comes up to the plate, and it's not just here on Cape Cod. He does it at USC, but especially the first few weeks here on the Cape, he has been swinging a hot stick.
So runners on first and second. The go-ahead run here at the dish in Paxton Wallace. Excuse me. First pitch is foul to the screen. First strike one. Showing a bunt attempt there was Keaton Rice. He came into the ball game to play catcher, and Smith was shuffled over to first base. So the catcher, Keaton Rice, at the dish from the left side. Trying to move the runners over here with a bunt. Shows bunt once again. The 0-1 pitch bunted down the third base side. Murray, third baseman, charging in. Fielding is McCarville, though. Throw over to first base. Skill stepped off for a second, steps back on the base. And a sacrifice bunt from Keaton Rice is successful.
And you got to give Tom Holliday a lot of credit to call the bunt right there with a struggling hitter. And there's a real chance for Chatham to potentially tie this ball game up. You have Polkovich, who's had a good couple of ABs so far tonight, and look who's come out on deck. It's Alex Terrell, the big bomber from Miami.
So 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. It's a 4-2 Firebirds lead. McCarville needs a little trouble here with the tying run over at second base. Caden Polkovich, the center fielder. First pitch swinging, fouls it back and out of play down the third base side. Count 0-1. So Terrell looks like he will come in for Brady Smith. Big left-hander, a lot of pop in his bat. As McCarville looks to work through Polkovich first here. 0-1 pitch. Swinging hard down the first base side. It's through past McGill. 1 run is in. Coming around to score easily. It's in the right field corner towards the bullpen. Thinking 3 here is Polkovich. Throw cut off over towards third base. It's in time. And Polkovich is thrown out, trying to send a double into a triple. Good relay there from the right field of Britton to Serretti. Well, this game is tied up here in Chatham. A 2-run double for Caden Polkovich.
Yeah, what a shot by Polkovich. Just hugged it down the right field line. Was busting for 3. A great relay by the Orleans Firebirds. But throw everything out the window. We are tied once again.
If he held up at second, would have had the go-ahead run at second with just 1 out. But now there are 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And again, Kel Nicholson set at the end of the 3rd. We got to watch out because just like against Hyannis yesterday, the Firebirds, although they won that game, Hyannis scored 5 unanswered and had the bases loaded late in that game in the 8th inning. As the first pitch of Terrell is skied up on the left side of the infield. The pitcher McCarville coming in, and Farrell ground backs up into fair territory and makes the catch for the 3rd out. But the Anglers scored 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and nobody left on a base after 6. It's a tie ball game from Chatham, Massachusetts. It's the Firebirds 4, the Anglers 4. Listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network.
We are here at Eldridge Park. Scotty Gange alongside Rob Emery.
We're actually here at Fenway Park.
No. Oh, that's right. It's right behind us.
Yeah.
Hey, Firebirds family, welcome into Fenway Park. It's a phenomenal day. I've said it about 1,000,000 times today with all the guys. We're just having so much fun out here. I got the lucky chance to catch up with players, coaches, interns. Here's a little best of montage from our fantastic day here at the park.
I couldn't imagine anything better.
Couldn't be better than this.
Yeah, it's a dream come true no matter what.
I feel a little bit like Neil Armstrong, to be quite honest with you.
Can't really describe it.
It's just a load of fun.
Yes, this is completely a dream.
It was really like a dream come true. It was such a great experience.
Just how cool this is, honestly.
In Fenway Park, look at where we're at, man. This is so much fun.
You know, magical, if I had to say one word.
You kidding, man? I didn't stop smiling.
It's fun. The fun part for me is watching our guys enjoy this day. That's the best part about it.
If you could choose one trait that you'd like to be of yourself in here today, if you could bring the best trait of Max Troiani, of Josh Zamora to the absolute fullest, what would you like it to be today?
I just want to have fun, man. I think that's what the game is.
Just be able to take everything in. Kind of realize all the blessings that we have around us right now.
A brand new ball game here at Veterans Field. The Chatham Anglers have scored 4 unanswered runs to tie this ball game up at 4 apiece. As Arian Sharp back out there for the Anglers, set to face Zach Britton, the right fielder from Louisville. Lefty on lefty matchup, the first pitch home. A fastball fouled back to the screen for strike 1. The 6th inning ended for the Orleans Firebirds with Zach Britton in the left-handed batter's box. David Ovidio was picked off of second by Sharp on a bullet to the shortstop, Huey Murrow. Sharp out of the windup. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball flare down the left side and out of play, and it's 0-2. A defensive change for the Chatham Anglers. Alex Terrell, who came in to pinch hit. He'll play first base for Tom Holliday's club. 0-2 the count against Zach Britton. Britton 1 for 3, an RBI double so far this evening. The 0-2. Breaking ball waved out and missed, strike 3. A sharp curveball that ran outside. Britton chased, and there's 1 away.
Well, again, just getting ahead of the count on Britt, and Sharp looking for a bounce-back inning here. Although, he was able to pick off a video over at second at base, still remembering that 5th inning, but was able to get out of that as well. So some confidence growing from Sharp on the mound since that 5th inning where he left the bases loaded.
So the first pitch to Max Troiani, a fastball that misses up and away for ball 1. Troiani 1 for 2 this evening. Checked out a couple of walks for Troiani. He's 0 for 1, but has reached base with a couple free passes. 1-0. Fastball that ties up Troiani. He can't lay off, and it's 1-1.
Well, yesterday against Hyannis, Trevor Halver, the outfielder for the Harbor Hawks, walked 4 times in that game. Maybe seen some things from that at bat yesterday.
Lefty on righty matchup with 1 away here in the top of the 7th. Sharp rocks and fires the 1-1. Breaking ball lunged out and fouled down the right side, and it's 1-2. Troiani has been a hit machine for the Orleans Firebirds so far this summer. Entered tonight with a .362 batting average. 3rd in the Cape. 21 hits across his first 14 games. 1-2 the count, the pitch. Breaking ball on the outside corner, strike 3. Sharp drops a curveball on the outside edge. Troiani left the bat on the shoulder, and there's 2 away.
Yeah, Sharp has looked on point here. And now his 4th inning, or his 3rd and almost his 4th inning of work. Back-to-back strikeouts now. He has started off the 7th inning.
It's now the first pitch to Matt Goodhart. Goodhart shows bunt and flares at the curveball low for strike 1.
Trying to bump behind the third baseman's back. Jorge Arenas was behind the bag at third base.
Goodhart has shown off the wheels so far this summer, and especially tonight. Had a heads-up base running play his last time up. Hit a single into center, but scampered up to second on the throw to the dish. Lefty on lefty matchup, the 0-1. Breaking ball that Goodhart's out in front of, and it's 0-2. So Zarian Sharp, who came out of the bullpen for Tom Holliday's squad in the 4th, he's tossed 3 2/3 of scoreless baseball. Has changed this game in the Anglers' favor. Here's the 0-2. Fastball spiked low at 93 on the gun, and it's 1-2. The totals the same across the board. 4 runs, 8 hits, no errors for Orleans. 4 runs, 8 hits, no errors for Chatham. Sharp gets the sign, the 1-2 coming. Fastball on the outside corner, strike 3. Zarian Sharp strikes out the side in the 7th, and the Anglers starting to feel the momentum here at Veterans Field. We've reached stretch time here in Chatham, Massachusetts. The Firebirds and the Anglers tied at 4. You listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Bottom of the 7th we go here at Veterans Field. The Orleans Firebirds and the Chatham Anglers knotted up at 4 apiece. Dawson McCarville back out for his 2nd inning of work. First pitch to Jorge Arenas. A fastball that misses low and in for ball 1. Arenas played a big part of that 2-run 5th for the Anglers. Was hit by the pitch, and then Charlie Welch left the yard to put the first 2 on the board for Chatham. Righty on righty matchup, the 1-0. Fastball tails outside. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Arenas has been aboard in both of his plate appearances today. Singled back in the 2nd as well. And Jorge, his career numbers against the Firebirds, was with the Anglers last summer, just 2 for 14 at the moment. 2-0 the count, the pitch. Fastball right down the chute, and it's 2-1. But part of the play that Jorge Arenas really took part in last summer between Orleans and Chatham was on the last night of the summer. Chatham Anglers were destined for the playoffs. The 2-1. Fastball misses low and in. It's 3 balls and 1 strike. And Tom Holliday has been very evident about not wasting any pitchers in situations. Jorge Arenas, a former 2-way player for Stetson, came in to pitch against the Firebirds the last inning in 2/3. 3-1. Fastball rocketed to the left side. Past the diving Shea Whitcomb into left field for a base hit. Arenas is aboard for the 3rd time today. Takes a big turnaround first, puts on the brakes. And the Anglers have the go-ahead run on base with nobody out.
Well, you can just tell in this ball game that the Anglers have grabbed the momentum. And now Arenas is aboard to start things off in this 7th inning.
And it looks like that will be it for Dawson McCarville, who struggles out there on the bump for the Orleans Firebirds. McCarville, who had been so sharp for Orleans to start the summer, gets tagged for 2 runs, both earned on 4 hits across an inning plus, and he's still responsible for Arenas on first. Zebulon Vermillion will come in for the Orleans Firebirds when we come back. Listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. he'll get the right-hander from Arkansas. Zebulon Vermillion in a big spot with the Firebirds and the Anglers squared at 4, but Chatham with the go-ahead run on first base. Vermillion, just his second appearance as an Orleans Firebird, pitched 2 nights ago against the Falmouth Commodores, a 1-2-3 frame against Falmouth with a strikeout. He'll face Charlie Welch, the DH from St. John's River State College. And for Welch, it's been a slow summer, but his last at-bat, a 2-run shot over the left field fence. Welch digs in from the right side. Vermillion set on the bump. Vermillion a deep breath. Welch showing bunt. First pitch, fastball in there for a strike.
Well, Tom Holliday trying to manufacture a run here to move the runner Arenas from first to second with nobody out. He's willing to play small ball.
It's Arenas aboard at first with nobody down here in the bottom of the 7th, with the Birds and the Anglers tied at 4. 0-1 bunted foul, and it's 0-2. So Welch, who had a 2-run home run his last time up, Tom Holliday using his versatile skills to try and notch down a sac bunt. Colin Hall, the left fielder from Georgia Tech, waits on deck. Vermillion set from the third base side of the rubber. The 0-2. Fastball runs high and tight. Some chin music to Welch, and it's 1-2. Vermillion, his second appearance out of the pen for the Firebirds. Pitched in 20 ball games for the Arkansas Razorbacks this past season. 4-1 with a 3.63 ERA during the spring. Vermillion a snap throw to first base, and Arenas dives headlong in.
Yeah, Vermillion looked good in his first appearance on Cape Cod and Falmouth again. That was another kind of high leverage situation where the Firebirds just barely holding on to lead by a thread. Here in a tie game, another high leverage situation.
Vermillion's 1-2. Breaker runs low and outside. Nice stop by Avidia to knock it down, and it's 2-2. And Zebulon nearly comes set with that front foot. Then there's a little twitch that nudges it just a touch further. He's set at the belt, then moves the left foot just a little closer to the first base side. 2-2. Breaking ball misses low and in just above the shoe tops of Welch, and the count runs full.
Well, Welch really working a nice at-bat here after he homered back in the 5th. Working the count against Vermillion.
So what will Tom Holliday do here with the Birds and the Anglers squared at 4? 3-2 the count to the 8-hole hitter, Charlie Welch, with Jorge Arenas on first, who has good speed. Arenas 2 for 2 in stolen base attempts this summer. 3-2, runner going, fastball rocketed to right field. Britton throws his hands up, feeling for the fence. He makes the grab just in front of the warning track. Going to throw the ball back to first. Pulls Ray Gill off the bag near the first base coaching box. He's able to corral it for an adventurous first out.
Yeah, Ray Gill using his basketball hops there. As Britton throw is high and a little tugging towards the Firebirds dugout. But Ray Gill able to corral that ball and prevent Arenas from advancing towards second base, and which would basically do the same thing as the bunt that Welch was trying to do early in the AB.
So that will bring up Colin Hall, the left fielder from Georgia Tech. Hall came into this ball game after the 4th inning as a defensive replacement for Cooper Swanson. Now gets his second licks at the dish. First pitch, fastball runs up and away for ball 1. Hall struck out swinging in his lone at bat so far tonight. Just batting a .194 entering tonight's ball game. Arenas on at first with one away, the 1-0. Fastball up and away, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Hall and the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets ran roughshod through the ACC, came out as regular season champions, at least in the Coastal Division. And his dad, Danny Hall, was named the ACC Coach of the Year. So Colin, a good year at Georgia Tech, hit .307 in his own right. 1-0. Fastball fouled back out of play. Check that 2-0, and it's 2-1 now.
Last year from a little bit different broadcast position here behind home plate, but a ball nearly came at our table here last year at Veterans Field.
Righty on lefty matchup with one away. And Vermillion a check on the runner at first, but nothing doing. Count 2 balls and 1 strike to the 9-hole hitter Colin Hall. Orleans and Chatham deadlocked at 4 here in the bottom of the 7th. Vermillion set the pitch. Fastball rocketed into right field. Britton ranging back. He's at the track. This one caroms off the wall. Arenas chugging around second. He'll get the stop sign at third. And cruising into second base is Colin Hall with a stand-up double.
Colin Hall struck out his first AB and able to push one out towards the right center field gap. Just one hopping in front of the 357 sign. That ball looked like it had a chance to get out, and Britton was trying to catch it on the run, but plays it off the wall as it was just out of the reach of his outstretched glove while running towards the gap.
So now the Anglers have the go-ahead run just 90 feet away. And David Avidia, the catcher, going to come out and have a word and try and calm down Zebulon Vermillion. A right-hander begins to toss in the Orleans bullpen. And the Firebirds hypothetically have a decision to make here. There's only one out in the bottom of the 7th. Do you intentionally walk Huey Morrill to set up the double play?
Well, that is definitely something I think to think about here. Just depends what kind of matchup does Kel Nicholson want.
You have the right on right at the moment, but remember, Tom Holliday, a plethora of left-handed bats to go to off the bench if he so chooses. Infield in for Orleans with the Firebirds and the Anglers tied at 4. And Kelly Nicholson going to emerge out of the Firebirds dugout, just making the long walk to the Orleans infield, converging on the pitcher's mound. Kelly hasn't signaled just yet. He might come out and try and milk this just a little bit to get the right-hander loose. Firebirds were leading this game 4-0 after the first 3 innings, but the Chatham Anglers didn't go down without a fight. The Anglers scored 2 in the 5th on a 2-run shot by Charlie Welch, then rallied for another 2 runs in the 6th on a trio of hits. So that's where we stand right now, 4-4, with runners on second and third and only 1 away. And Nicholson meeting with the entire Firebirds infield. And the home plate umpire, Rick Emerson, going to break up this powwow.
And whoever's down there in the bullpen at the right-hander for the Firebirds is warming up quickly. As now Kelly singles.
So the Orleans Firebirds will make the call to the bullpen. And Kelly Nicholson takes the ball out of Zebulon Vermillion's hands. Firebirds and Anglers tied at 4, but Chatham has the go-ahead run 90 feet away. You listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. We welcome you back here to Veterans Field. But Chatham's threatening to take the lead for the first time tonight. The Anglers have 2 runners in scoring position with only 1 away. And Connor Pellerin, the right-hander from Tulane, will come into the ball game for Kelly Nicholson. It's Pellerin's 5th appearance of the summer. He's tossed 3 1/3 so far, has not given up an earned run. Last pitch 2 days ago against the Falmouth Commodores. Tossed a scoreless frame, surrendered 1 hit, a walk, but then struck out 3. So Pellerin will face the right-handed hitting Huey Morrill with the go-ahead run 90 feet away, and the Firebirds bring their infield in. So Orleans was in the driver's seat after the first 3 up 4-0, but the Anglers have scored 4 runs in the last 2 frames. Infield in for Orleans, outfield straight away. The leadoff man Morrill digs in from the right side. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Pellerin steps on the rubber from the first base side. 6'3" right-hander stares in for the sign. Now he comes set at the chest. Pellerin steps off. And now David Ovidio will come out to have a word with Pellerin. That's received with groans around the ballpark.
Yeah, moans and groans from the Angler faithful. After Kelly kind of milked the clock there to get a couple pitches more for Pellerin. Pellerin warms up, but then not even 1 pitch thrown to Morrill, and Ovidio comes out.
Huey Morrill just 2 for his first 14 to start the summer, but is up in a big spot. Runners on second and third with 1 out in a 4-4 ball game here in the last of the 7th. Morrill unstraps the batting gloves, now digs back in from the right side. The right-hander Connor Pellerin set to toss his first pitch of the evening. Infield in for Orleans. The first pitch. Breaking ball blocked down by Ovidio. Morrill checked his swing. They'll appeal down. He went around for strike 1. And that ball ran up on David Ovidio, rolled down the first base line, but Ovidio quick as a cat to get there.
With all that spin rate from Connor Pellerin's curveball, and just anything he really throws, it's tough for a catcher to block it, but Ovidio did a good job behind the dish.
Al Leiter was very complimentary of Pellerin's breaking stuff. The 0-1. Another curveball. This one misses low and outside, and it's 1-1. Pellerin's average spin rate around 2,900, and for most people that means nothing. Now to put that in context, the average major league curveball is about 2,700. So a rising junior at Tulane has a spin rate that's better than the average major league curveball. 1-1. A fastball at 93 on the outside black, and it's 1-2. Firebirds 4, Anglers 4. But Chatham with the go-ahead run 90 feet away. Second and third and 1 down in the bottom of the 7th at Veterans Field. Pellerin set the 1-2. Breaking ball tails outside, and it's 2-2. Morrill had 20 RBIs this past season at Oklahoma State. Has not had a single run batted in so far this summer. 2-2 the count. The pitch. Breaking ball caught on the miss, strike 3. An 80-mile-an-hour curveball from Connor Pellerin. Morrell couldn't connect, and there's 2 down.
I was about to say, here comes the big bender, because that's the go-to pitch for Connor Pellerin when he needs a big strikeout. He can throw it for a strike. That pitch just nasty on Morrill as he swings right over it.
So the Chatham Anglers will get a pinch hitter. It's Ben Ramirez from Southern California. And Tyler Doan's a right-hander. The Firebirds had the right-on-right matchup, and like we talked about, the Chatham Anglers with plenty of options off the bench from the left side. And Tom Holliday uses Ramirez. So righty-on-lefty matchup with 2 away in the 7th. The pitch. Fastball misses low at 95 for ball 1. Ramirez hitting .236 for the A's so far this summer. Has played in every game now for Chatham. A second-year Angler under Tom Holliday. 1-0. Fastball paints the inside corner, and it's 1-1. Pellerin sitting consistently around 93 on the gun. It's topped out at 95. Orleans and Chatham deadlocked at 4 here in the last of the 7th. 1-1. Fastball misses off the plate, 95 on the radar gun, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike.
Well, again, he didn't have a lot of time to get loose down there in that right field bullpen, so might starts to see Pellerin crank up on the radar gun.
2-1. Fastball chopped to the right side, right at the first baseman Raymond Gill. He takes it to the bag himself, and the crisis is averted for the Orleans Firebirds. Connor Pellerin comes in with runners on second and third, the tying run 90 feet away and gets 2 huge outs to keep this game tied at 4. Chatham scores no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and they leave 2 runners left on base. After 7, Orleans and Chatham tied at 4. You listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network.
Hey, everybody has their pregame rituals, and AJ Lewis has a very special one. This guy loves to get coffee. We're about to go all access on the AJ Lewis coffee trip. Is that right?
We are. We're going.
Let's go. Let's do it. All right. Okay, perfect world scenario. You walk in and you say, I'll get the AJ Lewis.
I don't know about all that.
You have coffee before every game. Where did that start for you?
It's just something I start during school, honestly. Every morning I get up, I like to drink coffee. They call me an old man. Just got into a routine of it. It's not even that I need the caffeine. I just like being a routine-oriented person, and that's just one thing that I've always done.
What's the place to go to here?
So I fell in love with Joe Mama's.
Oh, you did?
Joe Mama's. Joe Mama's is the spot we're going to go today.
I feel like when you walk in, the place is going to go like, yeah!
I don't think that's the introduction I'll get, but if I do, that'd be pretty cool.
Do you have like an order there?
We'll see.
Oh. Smile.
We talk every day.
Lillian. Oh, I bet you know her well.
Hopefully she's there today.
Did we pass it?
Did we?
We did. It's back there.
Yeah, definitely passed it.
There we go, baby. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Oh, I'm ready too. Okay, let's do it, man. Do you know this guy?
Yeah, AJ.
Oh, you do know him.
Orleans and Chatham tied at 4 as we head to the top of the 8th at Veterans Field, and Tom Holliday will make the call to the bullpen. I'll go for the right-hander, Zach Cable from the University of Kentucky, and Holliday has crafted his way to tie this ball game up. Got 4 huge innings from Xavion Sharp without allowing a run. Righty-on-righty matchup to begin the 8th. Raymond Gill the batter. First pitch from Cable. Fastball up in the zone that Gill cuts through for strike 1. Sharp retired the final 5 batters he faced, including striking out the side in the 7th. Cable his 4th appearance of the summer, 2 1/3 pitch so far, a 3.85 ERA. 0-1. Breaking ball that Gill fishes for, and it's 0-2. Cable at 6 foot, 215 pounds on the bump. Rising junior for the Wildcats. Last pitched against the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox 2 nights ago. Cable set at the chest, a deep breath. 0-2. Breaking ball cut on and missed, strike 3. Make it 4 straight strikeouts for the Chatham Anglers pitching staff, and there's 1 away.
Well, Sharp really finishing his relief performance strong with striking out the side, especially. He got better and better as he came on. He pitched 4 innings, and now Cable starting off right where Sharp finished off with a strikeout.
It's now Danny Soretti, the batter for the Orleans Firebirds. First pitch, breaking ball taken low for ball 1. Orleans and Chatham deadlocked at 4 with 1 away in the top of the 8th. This was a game that the Firebirds led by 4-0. 1-0. Fastball chopped to the right side. The first baseman Alex Terrell charges on. He'll trot to the bag himself for the second out of the frame. 7 in a row retired by this Chatham Anglers pitching staff, doing their best Orleans Firebirds impression.
Again, it's almost a very similar feature to yesterday, where the first 4 games of the winning streak, the Firebirds touched up the bullpen more. We're basically no hit the first 4 or 5 innings, and now today again they have touched up the starting pitching, but the bullpen has just been a mystery.
First pitch to Shea Whitcomb. Fastball on the inside corner, strike 1. And it's a really switch of the script from what we saw for the Firebirds the previous week. Orleans had struggled against starting pitching and then tagged up the bullpen. 0-1, fastball up in the zone, waved out and missed, and it's 0-2. Cable, a 92-mile-an-hour heater above the belt of Whitcomb, and he couldn't catch up. Shea 0 for 3 today, struck out swinging his last time up. 4-4 the score between the Birds and the Anglers. 0-2. Breaker bounces low, and it's 1-2. David Ovidio waits on deck for the Orleans Firebirds, one of just 2 hitters tonight with a multi-hit performance at the moment. It's 2 for 3 and has raised his average up to $161. 1-2. Breaking ball waved out and missed, strike 3. A 1-2-3 shutdown inning for Zach Cable as the Chatham Anglers have retired the last 8 Orleans Firebirds. We'll head to the last of the 8th at Veterans Field. Orleans and Chatham tied at 4. You're listening to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network.
1-1 pitch from Vasso, line hard. A one-hopper backhanded play over at first base by Gill. Taking himself on the bag, and Anu is out, but does drive in a run. He's definitely a fun guy to watch and one to watch. Here is the 1-1 pitch. He slaps the other way down the right field line in towards the corner, roll up against the wall. Heading in around third, Pasek getting the green light. A play at the plate as the ball trickles in as Pasek. It's a half a slide. Did he miss it? Strikeout here is the 0-2 pitch. McCabe bounces it off the leg over towards second base, but Gonzalez was going to cover the bag. 1 run is in, and now Gill comes around to score. 1-2 pitches and more. Reaches for 1. Muscles it out towards center field. It will drop on the outfield grass. Murray comes in to score, and the Firebirds have tied the game here in the second inning.
His first pitch of the night. Fastball hit hard down the right side for a base hit. Murray getting the green light around from third, scooped up by Robinson in the right field corner. Murray scores easily, sliding into second base with an RBI double is Eddie McCabe. Righty on lefty matchup, first pitch. Lala lays down a bunt, gets up the first base side, past the right-hander, and Murray comes in. Big right-hander gets the sign. Here's the 0-2. Fastball on the outside corner, strike 3. Connor Pellerin back out there for the Orleans Firebirds. He got 2 huge outs to get the Birds out of the 7th unscathed. Pellerin entered with runners on second and third, grabbed a strikeout, then a 3 unassisted to leave a couple of runners on base. Firebirds and Anglers tied at 4 as we head to the home half of the 8th at Veterans Field, and the heart of the Chatham lineup coming up. The 3-hole hitter Jamal O'Gwin digs in from the right side. First pitch from Connor Pellerin. A curveball on the inside corner for strike 1. O'Gwin has been the toughest man to get out in the ballpark. 3 for 3 with 3 singles, has beaten the Orleans shift all 3 times. 0-1, a curveball misses low, and it's 1-1. And Kelly Nicholson and the Firebirds have made the adjustment. The second baseman, Danny Soretti, now on the right side of the second base bag after the 3 previous ABs on the left. 1-1 popped into shallow right center field, right where Danny Soretti is, who backpedals into the outfield grass, makes the one-handed grab for the first out of the inning.
Well, it took 3 ABs, as you mentioned, but they finally got the shift exactly where they wanted to be after the first 3 singles from O'Gwin were right up the middle. And Serenity practically at first didn't have to move, but then with the right-hander O'Gwin at the dish, the ball is going to tail towards right field and move back a couple steps to the right.
So now Keaton Rice, the catcher, will dig in from the left side. And Rice came into this ballgame as a defensive replacement earlier. First pitch to Rice, fastball on the outside corner for strike 1. And Rice, although it would be very cool, does not attend Rice University. A Bradley student, a rising junior out in Illinois. 0-1. Fastball misses off the plate, and it's 1-1. Orleans and Chatham deadlocked at 4, who with 1 away in the bottom of the 8th. Rice laid down a sacrifice bunt his last time up. 1-1. Curveball drops in there for a strike, and it's 1-2. And every time Connor Pellerin goes out there, he seems to get sharper and sharper, especially with that breaking ball. Righty on lefty matchup with 1 down. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball that Rice just gets a piece of, and we'll do it again. An 80-mile-an-hour 12-6 curveball that Rice just flailed the bat head at to stay alive.
Yeah, Pellerin for sure. He just looks even better and better. Exactly right here today with 2 big outs last inning.
1-2. Breaking ball fisted into shallow center field. This gets down for a base hit. Keaton Rice, his 3rd hit of the summer, and the Anglers once again have the go-ahead run on base.
Well, that ball just squeezing out onto the outfield grass. Really nothing against Connor Pellerin, but that was just a good piece of hitting there by Rice. Just muscles it out to the outfield grass.
So now Caden Polkovich who had a big RBI double his last time up that brought home 2. We'll dig in from the left side. Here's the first pitch. Fastball misses low and in for ball 1. Polkovich lined a double down the right side, was chugging all the way for third, but was gunned out on a great relay by the Firebirds. 9-4 to 5. 1-0. Breaking ball that Polkovich thought about pulling the trigger on laid off, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Polkovich 2 for 3 tonight. A single in the second, grounded into a 4-6-3 inning-ending double play in the fourth, and then that 2-run 2-bagger. 2-0 the count to the Anglers' 5-hole hitter. Pellerin set the pitch. Fastball up and away. It's 3 balls and no strikes. Firebirds 4, Anglers 4. Go-ahead run on first here in the last of the 8th. Alex Terrell, the big bopper from Miami, awaits on deck if he would get the chance here in this 8th inning. Pellerin sharp through the first 3 hitters he faced, set them down with ease, but gives up that flare shot to Keaton Rice, and now struggling behind in the count 3-0 to Keaton Polkovich. Polkovich has played all over the diamond so far this summer for the Chatham Anglers, manning center field tonight for Tom Holliday's squad. 3-0. Fastball taking all the way. It's on the inside corner, and it's 3-1. Polkovich transferring to Oklahoma State, played his first 2 seasons at Northwest Florida State, a very popular JUCO in the Sunshine State. 3-1 misses outside ball 4, and the Anglers have 2 on and 1 out, and Alex Terrell coming up.
Well, it's been something that Pellerin is acknowledging as need to work on, sometimes just the mental aspect of the game. After allowing a single, falling well behind the count to Polkovich. He said Outlander was working on it with him, talking to him, and Kel Nicholson as well, another guy.
So here comes Alex Terrell, who got a pinch hit opportunity in the 6th and popped out on just 1 pitch. Righty on lefty matchup, the pitch. Fastball corked down the left side into shallow left field. Troiani charging in. He's under this one, overruns it, and it drops down. Alex Terrell, a bloop shot down the left side, as the miscues continue for the Orleans Firebirds, and the Anglers have the bases full with only 1 away.
Oh, another high ball. It seems like the left field line is a little hard to see down there. And it drops in for a base hit.
It goes down as an E7 charged against Max Troiani. It's the Birds' first error, and now Kelly Nicholson will come out of the Firebirds dugout, and he will trot his way out to the pitcher's mound. A righty starting to warm up for the Orleans Firebirds. It appears to be Jeff Pramel, who has been the Firebirds' closer so far this summer. The infield converging on the mound, and Kelly Nicholson, like he did when he brought Connor Pellerin in this ball game an inning ago, just buying some time on the mound. Home plate umpire Rick Emerson walking down to first base to chat with Jeff Merzell. Orleans and Chatham tied at 4, with the bases loaded and only 1 out here in the 7th. And Kelly Nicholson's going to leave Connor Pellerin in this ball game. Just trying to instill some confidence in the young right-hander.
Can I mention Ken Nicholson, really been another figure here out here on the Cape. Trust in Pellerin. He has the stuff for sure. Another big jam here. He got out of it in the last half inning. Will be called upon here to get out of here.
Pellerin stranded 2 in the 7th. Kenny Strand, the bases full here in the 8th. Orleans and Chatham tied at 4. And the bases loaded for the Anglers and Jorge Arenas. Arenas has been aboard all 3 times tonight. Righty on righty matchup. Pellerin steps off the rubber. Arenas 2 singles tonight and was hit by the pitch in the 5th. Here's the first pitch. Breaking ball gets past Navidia to the backstop. Charging in from third is Keaton Rice. He slides in without a throw. The Anglers have come all the way back. They were down 4-0, and Chatham takes a 5-4 lead here in the 8th.
Well, it's deja vu for the Firebirds. Same thing happened yesterday in the beginning half, though, for the Harbor Hawks. They scored the first 2 runs on a wild pitch and a pass ball. And now here, it's going to be on the wild pitch that gives the Anglers the lead.
So Chatham has their first lead of the night and still looking for more. Runners on second and third with only one away, and now the Firebirds infield comes in. And that's the one downside of maybe having such a sharp curveball, is it can spin away from your catcher on occasion. Infield in for Orleans, trailing 5-4. 1-0. Fastball cut on and missed. Arenas a home run hack, and it's 1-1. So now the Firebirds on the short end of the stick at the current moment, and they'll have 8, 9, and 1 to up in the top of the ninth to try and prolong this ball game. But first they have to keep the damage at just 1. 1-1. Fastball broken back to the right side. Raymond Gill backhands. Throw coming home is high and offline. Polkovich slides head first. This rolls to the backstop. Coming in to score is Alex Terrell from second. And the Firebirds throw the ball around, allowing Chatham to score 2 runs. It's the Anglers 7 and the Firebirds 4, as Chatham has put up a 3 spot here in the 8th.
Well, this game just starting to spiral away from the Firebirds here. It was a good attempt from Rankle at first base to throw the ball home just a little high. Gets past it tips off the top part of the mitt of Avitia and drills to the backstop. Then really good heads-up base running by Terrell. Well, then seeing that Avitia is the only man back there, forces Murray to try to race him down the third baseline. Terrell beats him in. And just like that, as you mentioned, it's a 7-4 ball game now.
A similar story to what we saw last night for Orleans. The difference, Chatham was able to get over the hump and come back. The Firebirds were up 7-0 yesterday against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Hyannis rallied for 5 unanswered runs. This time up 4-0 against Chatham, but the Anglers score 7 unanswered, including 3 in the 8th. Runner on second with still only 1 out in the inning. The Anglers up by 3. First pitch to Welch, fouled back for strike 1. Orleans will have to rally for at least 3 runs in the top of the 9th. Again, they'll have 8, 9, and 1. David Avidia, Tanner Murray, and Zach Kokoska. Firebirds have their 5-game win streak in jeopardy at the moment. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball waved out and missed, and it's 0-2. And you got to give Chatham a lot of credit. They did a very similar thing last night against the Harwich Mariners. Chatham was down 2-0 at White House Field, and the Anglers rallied for 3 runs of their own to win that game 3-2. Righty on righty matchup. Polkovich extending his lead. Check that Arenas, and now Pellerin steps off. Pellerin ahead, 0-2. The pitch. Breaking ball misses low and in, and it's 1-2. Welch has been an integral part to this Anglers rally. Had a 2-run shot back in the 5th to get the Anglers on the board. But right now it's Chatham 7, Orleans 4. With 1 down here in the last of the 8th. 1-2 the count, the pitch. Fastball on the inside corner. Ring him up, strike 3. Welch took the heater out the knees on the inside part of the plate. Shoots Rick Emerson a look on his way back to the dugout. And there's 2 down.
Well, big strikeout picked up right there by Connor Pellerin on the hill. Now at 2 outs. Just 1 out away from getting out of this jam, and I know the Firebirds, they're just going to be eager to get into the dugout and swing away.
It's now Colin Hall, the batter for the Chatham Anglers. He steps in for the left side. First pitch. Fastball on the outside, black, 0-1. Chatham scored 2 runs in the 5th on that 2-run shot by Charlie Welch. They rallied for 3 more, check that, 2 more in the 6th to tie it up. And they have scored 3 more here in the 8th to take their first lead of the night. 0-1. Fastball hit on a line into center field for a base hit. Arenas gets the green light around from third. Throw to the plate from Kokoska on a bounce, and he's gone down by a mile. Kokoska, a bullet to home plate. Throws out Arenas from center, but not before the Anglers take the lead as Chatham scores 3 runs on 1 hit, 2 errors, and 1 runner left on base. One last chance for the Orleans Firebirds, as we head to the top of the ninth here at Veterans Field with Chatham leading Orleans 7-4. But first, let's check in with Alec Hendon. Alec?
Yeah, thanks, guys. Even though things have unraveled a little bit here for the Birds, there is one positive I can find in this time, and there's always a late-night chowder place open in Orleans, Land Ho. We've gone after a few games. It's a great spot. It's personally my favorite clam chowder on the Cape, located not too far from Eldridge Park in Orleans. It's a great spot for with lots of food options, family-friendly, and is open late. Land Ho in Orleans, not too far from Eldridge Park, and a proud sponsor of the Orleans Firebirds. Back to you, Josh and Thomas.
Might be the place to potentially go soak the sorrows tonight in Orleans, Massachusetts.
Get a nice cup of chowder for sure.
So
maybe a little sandwich combination in there too.
So Orleans trailing for the first time tonight. They were up 4-0 in this ball game, but the Anglers have rallied for 7 unanswered runs to take the lead. It's the Anglers 7, the Firebirds 4, as we head to the top of the ninth with Orleans down to their final 3 outs. Zach Cable will remain in the ball game. He's on the winning side right now for the Chatham Anglers. Tossed a scoreless 8th, retiring the Birds in order. David Avidia to lead off the 9th inning for Orleans. Last 8 Firebirds have been retired. First pitch, fastball on the inside corner for strike 1. Avidia, good day at the dish. 2 for 3 with a pair of singles. Righty on righty matchup. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball that Avidia is out in front of, and it's 0-2. Cade Cabanis comes on as a defensive replacement for the Anglers. Hellman right field for Tom Holliday. The 0-2 breaking ball cut on and missed, strike 3. Make it 9 in a row. Orleans Firebirds retired, and Zach Cable is dealing and racks up his 3rd K.
And Zach Cable flat out dealing. He's just been pounding the zone as well. 11 strikes, just 2 balls. And now with 3 strikeouts as well, 3 of the 4 men he has faced, he struck him out. 6 of the last 8 Firebirds hitters as well have struck out.
First pitch to Tanner Murray. Fastball in there for a strike, 0-1. Orleans down to their final 2 outs after the Firebirds led 4-0 after the first 3 innings. Righty on righty matchup, the pitch. 0-1, chopper to the third base side, rolling foul, and it's 0-2.
I'm sure Tanner Murray wanted to have that ball end up in fair territory. A little slow really down the third base side. Arena's third base would have been a tough play for him, and Murray more than likely would have been able to beat it out.
So Murray's 1 for 2 today. A single and came around to score in the 3rd. Laid down a gorgeous sac bunt in the 6th, but the Birds were unable to score. Firebirds haven't had a hit since David Avidia's single back in the 6th inning. The last 9 have been retired by the Chatham Anglers pitching staff. Has flipped this game on its head, and the Anglers a 3-run cushion here in the 9th. 0-2 the count to the Birds' 9-hole hitter. Cable set the pitch. Breaking ball fouled off by Murray, and we'll do it again. Again, Orleans, for the 2nd night in a row, jumped out to an early lead. Last night, they were able to fend off the Harbor Hawks rally to win 7-5, but tonight, not able to hold off Chatham. Anglers scored 7 unanswered runs from the 5th to the 8th. 0-2. Breaking ball that's fought off by Murray, and we'll do it again at 0-2. You got to give Chatham a lot of credit. They were down early. Kelly Nicholson even told Alec Hendon after 3, this ball game is far from over, and Tom Holliday going to roll out plenty of good arms, and credit to Chatham's bats. That's exactly what the Anglers have done tonight. 0-2 the count to Tanner Murray. Cable set the pitch. Breaking ball, Murray dropped the hands but held off, and it's 1-2. Zarian Sharp, 4 scoreless innings out of the bullpen. Just surrendered 3 hits, walked 2, and struck out 5. And Zach Cable now, an inning and a third, has struck out 3 of the first 4 hitters he's faced. Anglers pitching staff has been dominant. 1-2, breaking ball flared into shallow right field for a base hit. Murray aboard for the second time today and gives the Firebirds a little life and flips it to the top of the lineup.
I think Tanner Murray in the 9th spot has been a nice fit so far in this game. Only even though it's only his second hit, back in the 4th as well, hit a rocket of a line drive just right at the right fielder. He's starting to field things. We see that 9-hole spot. Zamora starting to swing the bat at the 9th spot, and Daniels as well. And now Murray, a couple guys starting to get things going a little bit.
4 of the Firebirds' 9 hits have been from the 8 and 9 holes today. Righty on lefty matchup. First pitch to Zach Kokoska. Fastball taken up and away for ball 1. Orleans down to their final 2 outs here at Veterans Field. The Anglers a 7-4 lead over the Firebirds. Murray's aboard at first with 1 away. The 1-0. Fastball runs upstairs past the catcher Rice into the backstop. So Murray advances to second on the wild pitch, and it's a 2-0 count to Zach Kokoska. And here comes Dennis Cook to have a word with Zach Cable.
And it seems like Cable's a little out of sync now after not allowing a base runner until here in the 9th. As you mentioned, inning and a third now of work. And throwing 2 first pitch balls to Kokoska, the second one going over the head of the catcher Rice. Things wants to come down out there, make sure no situation. Hey, it's not a big deal. That run doesn't mean anything. Let's get the batter here.
So the Anglers up by 3. Chatham has scored 7 unanswered runs in this offensive barrage for the Anglers on 12 hits. Zach Kokoska, the leadoff man out of Kansas State, digs back in for the left side. Kokoska 1 for 4 this evening. Had a single back in the first. Firebirds just have 1 hit since the 7th onward. 2-0. Fastball runs high and tight. It's 3 balls and no strikes. If Kokoska were to work a walk, Zach Britton would represent the tying run.
And wouldn't that be something the Firebirds show a little fight in them and come back here in the 9th?
Britton has come a couple times just shy of the wall. 3-0. Fastball runs inside, ball 4. So Zach Kokoska works out a 4-pitch walk, and the tying run will come to the plate in the form of Zach Britton and Tom Holliday on the top step of the Anglers dugout, just looking down to the Anglers bullpen.
Might take a page out of the Kelly Nicholson textbook and just maybe go out to the mound and a slow walk and then have a nice discussion and then head to the bullpen.
He'd have to make the change at that point because Dennis Cook has already come out, and it looks like he's going to leave Zach Cable in this ball game. Anglers 7, Firebirds 4, tying run at the plate. 2 on with 1 away here in the 9th. First pitch to Zach Britton. Fastball lined into left center field. That gets down for a base hit. Murray's on his horse. He's around from third. Being waved around all the way from first is Zach Kokoska. The throw goes into second, and it's a 2 RBI double for Zach Britton, and the Birds are within 1. It's 7-6 here in the 9th.
Well, how about that? These Firebirds have proven and proven all season long they won't give up. We've heard from so many players this year saying this is a different type of group. We're the grit, grinding. We're going to come back, and they're proving it here in the 9th inning. After Zach Britton puts one in the left field gap, and the left fielder Hall as well kind of fumbled the ball along the fence, allowed Kokoska to ramp up his speed and take the turnaround third and score.
And now look who's at the dish for the Orleans Firebirds. It has been their best hitter all summer long, Max Troiani. Troiani entered tonight batting .362. First pitch, curveball on the outside corner, called strike 1.
And especially for Troiani, there's a big hole on the right side of the infield because the second baseman Morrow has to hold on the runner at second and Britton.
The 0-1 pitch. Curveball drops in there on the outside part of the plate, and it's 0-2. Chatham a 7-6 lead over Orleans. Tying run on second, the go-ahead run at the plate. The 3-hole hitter, Max Troiani, 0 for 2 today. The 0-2. Breaking ball waved out and missed, strike 3. Troiani goes down fishing, and the Birds are down to their final out.
Troiani exchanged a couple words with Goodhart as he heads in, maybe trying to tell him a little bit of scouting report. Tough AB for Troiani, just a couple good curveballs from Cable.
And now Dennis Cook going to come out of the Chatham dugout to make the move to the bullpen. So Zach Cable will not finish this ball game off for the Anglers. With the tying run in scoring position and the go-ahead run at the plate, the Anglers will make the move to the pen.
I think they're going to bring in a lefty because Goodhart's left-hander coming up.
It's Chatham 7, Orleans 6. We've got a good one here at Veterans Field with 2 away in the ninth. Don't go anywhere. You listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. After squandering a 4-run cushion, the Orleans Firebirds have battled back. The Chatham Anglers took a 7-4 lead, but the Firebirds within striking distance. It's 7-6 in favor of the Anglers, with the Firebirds down to their final out. Zach Britton, the tying run at second, and Matt Goodhart has been intentionally walked. So the go-ahead run on first, and now Raymond Gill, the batter for the Orleans Firebirds. Dawson Merriman out of the bullpen. First pitch to Gill. Side armor throws a strike over the heart of the plate. Merriman, 7 appearances so far for the Anglers, has not surrendered an earned run. 6 2/3, 2 saves, and just pitched last night to pick up a 2-out save. This would only take 1 out for the right-hander from Midland College. The 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball misses upstairs, and it's 1-1. Ray Gill so far tonight, 1 for 4, 2 RBI double way back in the third. Firebirds trailing 7-6 here in the ninth. 1-1. Breaking ball misses low. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Merriman has only issued 1 walk this season coming into tonight across his first 6 2/3. Zach Britton represents the tying run. He stands on second. The go-ahead run is on first in the form of Matt Goodhart. Raymond Gill so far this summer, 7 RBIs. The 2-1. Breaking ball bounces low. It's 3 balls and 1 strike. So a good hitter's count for Raymond Gill, the first baseman from Miami, who has reached base in 10 consecutive ball games. Anglers holding on. Chatham 7, Orleans 6. Tying run in scoring position with 2 away. 3-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball misses outside, ball 4. So Raymond Gill works a walk, and the bases are loaded full of Birds.
Now the Birds had the bases loaded back in the 5th inning. And with 2 outs, and they could not strike. Now 2 outs here in the 9th. Bases loaded once again. You got to see what the Firebirds can do here.
And we will get a pinch runner for the Orleans Firebirds. Jordan Lala, the speedster from Miami, has checked in for Matt Goodhart at second base. So the tying run just 90 feet away now for Orleans. The go-ahead run at second. Bases loaded with 2 down here in the 9th. Orleans down by a run. First pitch to Soretti. Fastball misses upstairs for ball 1. Soretti, the 8th hitter this inning to come up for the Orleans Firebirds. He's 0 for 3 today, but does have a walk. Drew a free pass back in the 5th. 1-0. Fastball misses off the plate. It's 2 balls and no strikes.
And if I'm Soretti, I'm not swinging. I mean, he could swing here, 2-0 count, but so far, Merriman has not been able to find the zone.
2-0 the count to the switch-hitting second baseman from North Carolina. Here's the 2-0. Fastball hit to the right side. Past the diving second baseman, Dones into right field. 1 run is in. Lala charging around for third. The throw to the plate. In time. Orleans ties the ball game up on the RBI single by Danny Soretti, but a big-time throw by Cade Cavanis in right field. Guns down Jordan Lala at the plate. So the Birds rally for 3 runs in the top of the 9th and live to see another day as we will head to the home half here at Veterans Field with Orleans and Chatham deadlocked at 7. You listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Bottom of the 9th, we go here at Veterans Field in what has been a back-and-forth contest between the Orleans Firebirds and the Chatham Anglers. The Firebirds and the Anglers tied at 7, heading into the bottom of the 9th in Chatham, Massachusetts. Jeffrey Pramel, the Orleans Firebirds closer, will come into the ballgame with the game squared up at 7 apiece. It'll be the top of this Anglers lineup, starting with Huey Morrill. Pramel set to make his 7th appearance. Last pitch 2 days ago and earned the save through an inning. First pitch to Morrill. Fastball runs up and in for ball 1. Firebirds led this ball game 4-0 after the first 3 innings, but the Anglers rallied for 7 unanswered runs, including 3 in the 8th. 1-0. Fastball catches the outside corner, and it's 1-1. But then Orleans somehow found a way to tack on 3 in the top half of this inning to tie this ball game up. The 1-1. Breaking ball misses up and in. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Morrill 0 for 4 tonight, struck out swinging in his last at-bat. Ben Ramirez waits on deck for the Anglers. 2-1. Fastball upstairs. Morrill laid off. It's 3 balls and 1 strike. We saw the Firebirds shoot themselves in the foot an inning ago. Orleans made 2 errors in the 8th to foster 3 Anglers runs. 3-1 the count, the pitch. Fastball misses for ball 4. Looked like Pramel thought he caught much of the plate. but Rick Emerson calls it outside. And Huey Morrill, the winning run, trots down to first.
That's big for the Anglers. Get the leadoff man on. And we mentioned it before, but Pramel, seems like every time he pitches, he always lets a guy on. But again, this is a big spot, especially leadoff guy. You don't want to give the leadoff guy a chance here.
He left a guy on, I should say, in his last appearance. First pitch will be held up with Pramel checking on the runner at first, but nothing doing. Let a couple guys on in his last appearance, and for the first time this summer, allowed a run. ERA at 150 across his first 6 innings. First pitch to Ramirez. He squares, gets it in front of the pitchers. Matt Pramel comes off, ricochets off the glove, throw to first, down the right field line. Morrill's digging for third, getting the green light. Zach Britton's throw to home. Not in time. Chatham walks it off after the Firebirds can't field a sacrifice bunt. And after Orleans tied this game up with 3 runs in the top of the 9th, the Anglers walk it off on a pair of errors by the Orleans Firebirds.
One of the wildest games I think you'll ever see. A 3 spot by the Anglers in the 8th. Orleans comes back with a 3 spot of their own. Lala gets hosed out at the plate. A good throw by the right fielder in Cabanas. And then just like that, a walk-off by the Anglers in the 9th on a attempted sacrifice bunt. I mean, that just sums it up how great of a ball game this was between both sides. It only makes tomorrow night in Orleans a little bit more exciting now.
The Orleans Firebirds led 4-0 in this ball game. The Chatham Anglers scored 7 unanswered runs from the 5th to the 8th. The Firebirds trailing by 3 heading into the 9th. Rallied for 3 runs down to their final out, but the Chatham Anglers walking off on the pair of errors by the Orleans Firebirds to win 8-7 here at Veterans Field in Game 1 of this 6-game season series. The Firebirds fall to 11-5-2. The Anglers advance to 11-6-1, and the Firebirds are on the short end of the stick for the first time since June 20th. Snapping their 5-game win streak.
Well, some good streaks must come to an end, and unfortunately the Firebirds came up just a bit short here late in this ball game. But again, it's a loss for the Firebirds, but it really tells you a lot about this team. They could have given up after the 8th inning, especially the way things unraveled. They lost all the momentum in the world, and then they come back in the 9th inning with 3 runs of their own. It just tells you how much pride and how much these guys really care about playing an Orleans uniform. Again, it just tells you once again what type of team Ken Nicholson has this year.
So the Firebirds, who Kelly said this game was far from over after 3 innings, and he was right. Skip knows best. He said Orleans still had to battle. They did battle. They squandered the lead once. They were able to tie it up, but the Firebirds unable to fend off a walk-off from the Chatham Anglers, as the Anglers score 8 runs.
Hey guys, I'm here with Orleans catcher David Avidia. Tough one as the Firebirds' 5-game win streak comes to an end and an 8-7 walk-off win for Chatham. And David, just one of the few rough nights for the bullpen tonight. What wasn't really working for you guys out there as a staff? What did you see?
I just saw a lot of pitches middle. Pretty much it. A lot of pitches middle, falling behind the counts at times. And well, I got to give it to these hitters. They put balls in play and they just found holes and got on base. So
you guys did fall behind 3 runs in the bottom of the 8th, but you guys stormed back valiantly to tie it up and force the bottom of the 9th inning. How impressed were you with just your at-bats there late in the game?
I feel like everybody was just putting together really good at-bats, drawing walks, getting hits, seeing pitches they want to hit and going after them. All these hitters are very talented, and it just goes to show how talented they are against quality pitching. So.
Now, one of the best things about baseball is even after a tough game like tonight, you can come back tomorrow and you even get to face the same guys at home. How quick do you think you guys are going to be able to turn the page and get going tomorrow against these guys back at Eldridge?
I'm sure we'll be able to turn the page quick. Tough loss, and we'll be thinking about it tonight, but coming tomorrow, we'll be ready to play them again and hopefully win. So,
thanks, David. Have a good night, man. Back to you guys.
And thank you, Alec. Again, that was Alec Kendall alongside catcher David Avicii after a tough one here in Chatham tonight. Again, the Anglers come out on top 8-7 win over the Firebirds. Just a quick recap, Firebirds struck first in the first inning. This is only the second time this year the Firebirds scored a run in the first inning. The other time back on June 14th in Wareham. Firebirds up 4-0 after 3 before. The Anglers came roaring back. 2 runs in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, 3 in the 8th. And they held a 7-4 lead after the 8th inning before the Firebirds. They did not give up. They didn't go down in order. They fired a 3-spot of their own back in the top of the 9th inning before the Anglers walked it off on a sacrifice bunt with an error. And Memorial, who walked to start off the 9th inning, comes around to score. So again, it's a tough loss for the Firebirds, but they'll be back in action tomorrow on July 4th from Eldridge Park. First pitch 7 o'clock. As the parade is tomorrow morning in Orleans. If you're around the Orleans or Cape area, you can see the Firebirds and us as the interns as well up on the float as it goes down to Main Street and throughout the town of Orleans. Parade starts at 10 a.m. tomorrow. But again, first pitch tomorrow, 7 p.m. Pregame show starts at 6:40 from Eldridge Park. As we'll look to have Scotty Gage, our semi reporter, back. Alec Hennon did a fantastic job filling in for Scotty Gage. So that will finish things up here from Veterans Field again. Chatham on top, 8-7 over the Orleans Firebirds. From our semi reporter, Alec Hennon, our producer, Bryce Johnson, my broadcasting partner, Josh White. I'm Thomas Inzarella saying so long from Veterans Field. We'll see you tomorrow in Orleans.